Like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation. You call me a god. 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 I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent, cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me, put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grave 6 feet like Kenny. Love and affection, no fear of rejection. This I know is true. Peace and contentment, no need for resentment. This I found in you. This I found in you.
Nightmares, all I dream is purge. If you get caught outside, then you gon' get purged. Niggas say the word and we gon' purge. We gon' purge. We gon' purge. Bloody nightmares, all I dream is purge. If you get caught outside, then you gon' get purged. Niggas say the word and we gon' purge. We gon' purge. We gon' purge.
Fuck as you on. Fuck as you niggas is on. We kicking the door, we busting the floor, we getting your family gone. Blood in the air, I'm smelling it down. No stopping the bully, I'm gunning you down. You niggas is kings.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking the pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking the pandemic.
DJ discretion.
Flow still sick, I ain't talking the pandemic.
Say it louder, what you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spank you. That ass, girl, gotta make it last now. Start off so, then I'ma beat it up.
Yeah, you know, Baltimore, where we ride them in the crown, victim of a larger toy. I'm in the new whip, I guess you could say I'm Baltimore. Still ain't no haters, the hell I need a Charlie for. I'm on the low, let my homie care with me. Cause the low in the S550. Yes, I so fly up high in the sky, don't lie, flare in a frisbee. Getting money, yeah, just like Fiddy. Ain't got about, yeah, just like Diddy. All you haters get witty, you thinking about to have a home crown and the kid in my city. When I was down, it wasn't much I had. Now I'm riding brown town, stunting and something bad. Yeah, I'm getting myself a bunch of cash. Yeah, $20 turned into a whole duffel bag.
I came from the bottom. I can't forget my people. You know I got up.
Yeah.
I work non-stop. That's why my hustling took me on top. Muscle up.
Hustle up.
Muscle up.
Hustle up.
Muscle up. If you came from the bottom, muscle down.
Hustle that.
Muscle down.
Hustle that.
Muscle down. If you came from the bottom.
Listen. Yeah, I remember me working, yeah, flipping burgers and hurting and taking notice. I'm working this fast food. Now I'm just swerving in burgers. Now all the chicks, they be flirting so quick to flip up they skirt and flirting them that dude. Just look at how they be on me. Always trying to keep me company. If it is what it is, they be thinking this kid ain't even me giving me money. Yeah, man, they be looking out for me. So thinking me all about money. They be just trying to claim my name and get fame, but my mom ain't raised no dummy. I'm like a movie that graduated to what's a damn. Haters was saying I'm a clown, but now they like you the man. White tees and a couple pair of pants, and I'm leaving them all with 10 more bags in my hand daily.
I came from the bottom. I can't forget my people. You know I got up.
Yeah.
I work non-stop. That's why my hustling took me on top. Muscle up.
Hustle up.
Muscle up.
Hustle up.
Muscle up. If you came from the bottom, muscle down.
Hustle that.
Muscle down.
Hustle that.
Muscle down. If you came from the bottom.
Woo! Shout out to Harlem and Rickets and all my hardworking sisters that's taking care of their children like they supposed to. And the haters keep hating, just use it as motivation. They imitating, just keep it real with your folks, dude. Yeah, I was living in LA, but now I'm back in town with a new team of players to make it happen now. So everybody go huddle up. And if you came from the bottom, let me see you throw your muscles up. Yeah.
If you came from the bottom, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. You in the club. I came from the bottom. I came from the bottom.
Muscle up. Muscle up. Muscle up.
I came from the bottom. I can't forget my people. You know I got up.
Yeah.
I work non-stop. That's why my hustling took me on top. Muscle up.
Hustle up.
Muscle up.
Hustle up.
Muscle up. If you came from the bottom, muscle down.
Hustle that.
Muscle down.
Hustle that.
Muscle down. If you came from the bottom, I came from the bottom. Muscle up. I came from the bottom. You cannot tell me nothing. Muscle up.
Oh,
Muscle up.
What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing right now? Look, I'm ready to have some fun. I'm ready to have some fun today. So I need some people to hit. I need some people to hit real quick because I ain't trying to be here all day. So Uniquely Made and who else? Who this person? Let me see. Uniquely Made and Ray Patterson. I need y'all to hit this joint real quick because we got some things to discuss. Maybe y'all want to, maybe y'all don't. But it's not good to go and lie on somebody. It's not good to go out and spread false ideologies. So I'm here. Everything is posted. Everything is there. Since they call me a god. You know what I'm saying? This is how you put rumors to bed. This is how you put rumors to bed. Because while people run with rumors, we ain't gonna run with that. Nah, we ain't running with no rumors. So instead of going through the middleman, I'd rather go to the people directly. So I'm just saying, you know. So while I got that up queued and loaded, I got 5 minutes on that, so I got time. All right. Like I said, honestly, I'm just waiting for, because really I don't, I need Ray Patterson and Ray Patterson and Uniquely Made. The call-in number is linked to the top of the chat. So I'm just saying, we as the people are waiting on you. Hold on. Okay, like I say, you never know who's gonna stop past. We have a guest. So while we waiting for Ray Patterson and everybody to come, and we have a guest. Miss Sharon Wimbush has called, and
Hi.
and she have a direct message from Rob, and she want to enlighten some people. So go ahead, Sharon, you got it.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I wanted to let everybody know that Robert sent out an email this morning, and he wants everyone to go to the website and download letters, share the website with people so you can download letters and mail out letters so that you get a letter mailing campaign going. If you do not want to send the letter that is already printed on the website, you can write your own, and you can just get the address from the website who to mail it to. You want to mail out 5 letters every single week and get people that you know to mail out 5 letters every single week. Robert sent an email at 7:35 this morning, and he just titled it website link. He said, go to this website, and the website is justicerkelly.weebly, WEEBLY.com. So if everybody can support Robert and do that, he would like that. He would appreciate that. The other thing I wanted to speak on is I've been hearing a lot of rumblings and rumors and speculation concerning his interviews. And I wanted to clear air on that so that there was no misunderstanding. People are feeling jealous, slighted, just a bunch of things that are not necessary. And it's being fed by people who want to be divisive and who want to hinder Robert's support. So let me be very clear with how that came about. Over a year ago, as you guys know, back in August of 2019, I did an interview on Rick Party's show with, what was her name? Sasha, Rick and Sasha. So it's called the Rick and Sasha Show. It was based out of Atlanta, and they had me on there. And so I had a relationship with Rick Party as a result of that. Back then, I asked Robert if he wanted to do an interview with Rick. Robert was not ready to interview. So periodically over the years, I would ask Robert if he wanted to do that because he and Rick had a friendship. They had a relationship over 30 years. They knew each other. I knew that Rick would be respectful and not be salacious with Robert. And so I would just present it to Rob from time to time. And it just so happened that a week before Robert decided to do it, I had put it in front of him again. Now, the reason the timing of this made it happen is simply because they announced that they were going to do a surviving 3. And so before, I had said it to Rob numerous times over the years. This particular time, I think it was just the straw that broke the camel's back, hearing that they were going to do a surviving 3. And he decided to call Rick and give the interview. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So once he did the interview, in Robert's mind, he was giving an interview to Rick Party, the person he's known in radio space for 30 years. Rick called me and said he did the interview with Robert. Rick then said to me he was putting it on the radio, but it doesn't live in the radio space. If you miss it, then you miss it. He was the executive and is the executive producer on Natasha Simona's Instagram space. So he decided to put the information there in addition to his radio so that it could go viral and more eyes and ears could see it. That was Rick Party's decision. Robert did not know Natasha Simona. I did not know Natasha Simona. Rick introduced me to her that evening. As she said on her show, we talked for 2 hours. I was giving her information on the case that she may or may not have been aware of. And then the next day, she happened to call me when she was live. I was not expecting her to call me. I was actually busy doing other things, and she happened to call. So that's how that came to be. Robert wasn't ignoring his supporters. He wasn't looking past his supporters. He wasn't neglecting his supporters. Rick is a professional radio personality with 30 years experience. This was a professional interview. He needed the information to get outside of the bubble. So all of that was, I'm sure, a part of the thinking, but it was in no way, shape, or form, let me pick this person over the people that have been out here for 4 years, as some people are trying to push that narrative. And I've heard several people, why wasn't it us? Why was it her? Why was it, all this jealousy. I could have said, why wasn't it me? I could have said, Rick, give it to me. At the time, I had more subscribers. So I didn't do that. It was Rick Party's decision. It was his call. He's the professional in that medium. And as far as I'm concerned, it turned out great. We got 10 million views out the gate. And then the Storm edition added another million or 2 possibly. So it was all good for Robert. And everybody should be happy about that. Instead of being petty and jealous and backbiting and, oh, he didn't pick me and it could have blew my channel up. It wasn't designed to blow anybody's channel up. It was the artist that is R. Kelly giving a professional interview to a professional radio personality with 30 years experience, Rick Party. Rick made the decision to, in addition to having it on his radio platform, to put it on Natasha's platform. Robert had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that. And we all had to just wait and see how it turned out. And I had to explain to Robert Rick's decision and why, I explained it verbatim the way Rick explained it to me. And it turned out great. And nobody had a problem with it, except the people who are sitting back with hurt feelings or jealousy that it wasn't them. And that's petty, it's immature, it's silly, and you're not looking out for what was in the best interest of Robert, because it wasn't given to my channel either. It wasn't put on my platform either. And I'm not walking around with an attitude and pissed off. I thought it turned out great. I supported the decision, and I do ultimately what is in the best interest of Robert.
But
so,
you want to know what killed me, Sharon? This is what killed me about some stuff like that. If you're here for Robert, if you're here for Robert, it shouldn't matter what his decision is. It shouldn't matter if it blows up my channel or nothing like that.
Right.
It should all be a part of, okay, y'all wanted him to speak. Now he's speaking, and it's still a problem.
Right, exactly.
So at the end of the day, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Robert need to clean house and say hell with them people.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, and then people were, well, why didn't he go on a bigger platform? And he needs a PR person. And just all of this nonsense, instead of relishing in the fact that he pulled off a coup. He was able to get an interview with the only negativity he got was inside of his own supporters.
Facts.
That's where the negativity came.
The fake supporters.
Nobody saw it coming. It was positive. It did a great thing for him. And for the first time since 2017, he had press that was not talking about anything negative about him. It was just reporting something that was vital to helping him. He hadn't had that since 2017. Anybody that is a supporter of this man, anybody that is for him, should be happy that that took place. The other thing I wanted to speak on, all of a sudden, I'm hearing people trying to divide supporters. And they're doing it under the guise of, oh, he asked for rent. This means he cares more about this person than the people that are out here stomping the yard for him. Or, I can't support him because, how does he explain Rashana? Anybody that is speaking like that is here to divide and hurt Robert. Anybody that is not supportive of Robert, if you don't want to give money to whatever, you just don't do it. You don't have to go live 3 times telling everybody what they should and should not do with their money and how they shouldn't support Joy, and you give a litany of reasons of why you think she's not good. If you choose not to donate money, you don't do that. But you shouldn't, put piss and vinegar all over any attempts to help Robert. That's just asinine. So you have a lot of people who are working for factions that are against Robert, things that are behind the scenes, and we know it. We've covered it 1,000 times. I don't need to belabor the point. But, you have people that are on the payroll of some people, and they're here to stop every attempt to do good for Robert, to stop every attempt to help him. So I need everybody to be boots on the ground, true supporters. You know this situation is wrong. You know that everybody lied. You know that the situation with Rashana was a bunch of lies. Everybody knows that who was listening, and anybody that's saying anything other than that is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Well, the latest thing that came to me, Sharon, was the question and was asked, like, what are you going to do now? Because you know Robert is innocent. And that person turned around and said, well, I don't know Robert's innocent. I don't believe he's innocent. If that's the case, how can you explain Azriel and everybody else? And I sat back and I was like, damn. Like, you was a supporter of Robert or allegedly being a supporter for Robert for 3 years, 4 years. Now you hit that, it makes sense now.
But my thing is, if you were a supporter and you decide no longer to support, then go somewhere and don't support.
Right.
But don't bring your piss and vinegar into his support system and try to prevent him from getting support. Therein lies the problem. You have a right to walk away, then walk the fuck away.
And see,
but don't put up these videos, and we know who they are because we've seen them, with this fake bullshit of, and you have to know when people are mind fucking you and they're planting seeds of division, because it's, why wasn't Joy doing this? You don't know what the fuck Joy was doing. You don't know what conversations her and Robert have had on a daily basis. You don't know what emotional support that female is bringing him.
Right.
So no one can speak on that man's relationship. No one can speak on that man's choices. We all should be here as a support system, because this is, in the eyes of the law, wrong. We know that he was acquitted in the 2008 case. We know that the government forced Rashana. We know that she was tampered with. We know that there were lies then and lies now. So she's not a credible witness. These are things that we know. So if anybody is coming forward saying whatever, it's because that's what they believed all along, and they were just here to survive off of R. Kelly. And they're going wherever they think the money is, where they think they can have a pin-up on this situation. So they're either riding with the person that stole his intellectual property, they're riding with the ops, they're riding with wherever they can get a cash app and a check. And that's fine. Go do your scamming and your hustling and your penny ante panhandling, but leave his support alone. Don't do Don Russell's dirty work for him. And I'm hearing people, Don Russell is the only victim here. Don Russell was the only one riding for him. That tells me you're on Don Russell's payroll. And Robert has already told TMZ and every other news media, without saying his name, that the stuff was taken from his storage. So anybody that's supporting Don Russell is not for R. Kelly. Anybody that's saying Don Russell was truly this is not for R. Kelly. You can't serve two masters. You can't be for him and for the guy that removed his intellectual property and refused to give it back. You just can't. So please, everybody, go to the website, justicerkelly.weebly.com. Please send your 5 letters every single week. Get everybody you know to do the same. And then share the link to the website with everybody you know so we can get these letters going. And stay away from the wolf in sheep's clothing. Stand 10 toes down for Robert. Be a ride or die. And let's get him through this.
Facts.
All right, I'm going back into the bushes.
All right. All right.
All right, bye. Thank you.
All right, no problem. That was Miss Sharon Wimbush. She had a fiery message. Hey, I mean, there you go. She had a fiery message. And again, I say the same thing, like if you're not really formed, then I mean, hey, I'd rather you go over to Oak Cove. You know what I mean? Go over there with them people. They believe what you believe. So go ahead on over there. That's what I say. But hey, who am I? I'm just somebody who I'm just somebody who just don't care, you know? So like I say, I'm going to show some things, but before I go any further, hey Chrissy, hey Tiffany, and before I go any further, I just got a problem and I want to address it. Once again, I said it earlier and I'm going to say it again. And Uniquely made some false allegations on Angie's channel about me. Well, one thing about me is that if you say my name 3 times, I'm going to pop up. But I just went to sleep last night, so I didn't know you said it until I got up this morning. And I was looking, and then I got emails like, yo, Angie Live and Uniquely Made was saying this. And I was like, okay, I get it. However, let's get some things straight. China is grown. I can't manipulate nobody. That's not what I do. But I find it funny that the people that rolls with the guy that manipulates everybody, that have everybody going against everybody, that want to be the YouTube king, that come out in the middle of the night and say, well, ain't nobody apologize to me. Ain't nobody do that. Man, listen, check this out. At the end of the day, ain't nobody going to apologize to you. And I put it out there and I didn't get nothing in return. And I realized ain't nobody going to apologize to me. So with that being said, I can easily get on here and call them ladies 9,000 bitches, but I'm not. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say Uniquely Made, woe on you for you not knowing the truth and for you speaking with a tongue that's untamed. That's all I'm going to say about you. And I didn't have a beef with you. I never had a problem with you. But I see you ride with who you ride with, and it's fine. My next thing, I'm going to go here. Ray Patterson, you said, good morning, Miss Shiner. Just listening in. And Nicole Gibbons said, good morning, Ray. I'm on my way out. I will listen on my way home. I defend the rights of senior citizens, elderly people, especially sick ones. Ray Patterson said, I have a question. And I'm saying this respectfully. But I don't understand looking for assistance from Dana when he's also a devil, who has also defamed the dead and played a part in Debo's situation. So if someone can answer that, that would be great. So Nicole said, thank you, Miss Shiner. Miss Denise, I pray you have a safe and happy recovery. I hate all of them just because you don't harass openly. If you hang or associate with that group, you are just as bad. I got to agree with Nicole. Ray Patterson said, good morning, Miss Shiner. Just listening in. Okay. That's the same question. Okay. Okay, the same question. Okay. And then Nicole Gibbons said, a lot of people in this sector, Ray, a lot of people in this sector, Ray, we're not siding with Dana, but we all agreed senior citizens shouldn't be attacked. Right? So Ray Patterson said, I need that question answered, period. Okay. Well, since you don't want to come to the panel and get that question answered, I'm going to be the one to tell it to you like this. You can side with who you want to side with. You can believe what you want to believe. But one thing about Dana, I don't attack. I counterattack. And that's been my motto from day one. Reason being I do it that way is because I don't want the slow to be slower. But damn, I was wrong, because now the slower is even slower. However, young lady, young man, whoever that is behind the avatar, you run with a bunch of banshees that run around harassing people. And you side and you jump on anybody's platform that have something negative to say about anybody. And then when people catch you in your shit on a platform, then it's, oh, I'm here for kills. No, you're not. You're here for mess. You're here for foolishness. So at the end of the day, I really wanted to have a conversation with you. But let's spill some tea. You don't want to come on and talk because your vocal changer, your voice changer, not working. I know who you are now. And it's easy to sit back and talk and try to spew people and try to twist people's mind and train of thought behind a keyboard and behind an avatar and behind a name that's not yours. But when somebody calls you to the carpet, you never show up. I wonder why. See, this is why I don't talk to avatars no more. If an avatar pop up, call in. We want to know who we talking to. Just like y'all want to leave out to show his face, I want to hear your voice. Because I've talked to everybody on here enough to know who you are, even if you try to change it. So once again, my whole rationale to talking to you people, it wasn't because I liked you. It wasn't because I wanted to be cool with you. It was because I wanted to peep your every scope that you do. I know how you talk because you talk how you type. That's how it's so easy to say, this is this person, that is that person. Y'all make it too easy. But when a person don't want to call in to defend their position, that's because they hiding behind a page and a name that's not theirs, and they don't want people to know who it really is. When have Dana ever been scared to show you who I am? That's the difference between me and you. But see, I'm going to give you the trick to all this. Y'all want me to jump on here, start going off, calling names and this, just so people can jump back on that platform and say, that wasn't me, that's not me, and the whole time it's them. Nah, I ain't going to play your game. I'm smarter than you. I'm 10 steps ahead of you. That 10 toes deep, do you think that just was a saying? No. It's a crossbreed. It means I stand firm and I stand 10 toes and 10 feet ahead of you. So every move you make, I already made 9 in front of you. Alexander Patterson said, answer the phone. You ain't never called my phone. And I don't know who Alexander Patterson is. Never seen you before. Never heard of you. But if you want the number, it's easy. There you go. No excuses. If you want to talk to me, I want to talk to you. Call from a real number, bro. I don't answer private numbers. Don't block nothing. Man up. Call from a regular phone. I don't do private numbers, bro. Man up. Man up. Like I said, I want to talk to you. And if it's calling from a private number, you just really solidifying who you really are. Listen, I'm waiting for you to call, brother. Only one person called me from private numbers back to back like that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen, y'all leave a trail. The trail was so sweet that I sit back and I laugh at it. Only one person called me from a private number. And that person comes from Bolingbrook. Come on, man. Here we go. You're live on the Dana J Show. How can I help you, caller? You're live on the Dana J Show.
Hello?
You're live on the Dana J Show. How can I help you, caller?
Okay, so this is Ray Patterson. So you were asking for me. Is that correct?
Of course.
Are you ready to talk?
Let's do it.
So I have a voice changer.
Let's do it.
Okay. So yes, I said what I said on Shina's live earlier.
Okay.
And that's my First Amendment right to say whatever I want to say. Okay, let's get that straight.
First Amendment right. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Now, are you going to tell the people what your part is and what happened with Debo's situation?
What's my part?
No, you tell me what your part is. I already know your part.
What's my part? But I'm asking you. What is
I know your part already. You tell your part.
Okay, what is my part? I'm asking you.
I'm
Because you
waiting
know
for
everything.
you to no, I had the questions, right?
And I'm
you said
asking
they
you,
have questions,
okay.
and I'm asking you, are you going to tell the people your part?
Listen.
Before I tell you what your part is.
Listen, I need you to tell me because I don't know what my part is, evidently. I done told everybody what it was.
You claim to say that you were harassed first?
Always.
Always.
Was
proof
I not?
Of that. Where's the proof of that?
Was I not? Go back and look at my videos. It's all there.
Where is the proof of that?
Go back and look at my videos. It's all there.
Because from what it looks like to me, from all the videos that I've seen, Debo was responding.
Okay. Let's break this down real quick. And let me help you because it seemed like you came in as late. So
it doesn't matter when I came in.
No.
It doesn't matter when I came in.
Listen. And you asked me something.
And
right?
I see the facts.
And you asked me
something.
something.
The facts is all out here. The facts is all out here.
Listen, and you asked me something, right? Now I'm trying to be respectful. And I'm trying to give you what you asked for, okay? Let's go here.
Did you not say that the man's kids, you wanted to see the man's kids bleed? Did you not say that?
Listen.
Did you not say that?
Oh, wait. Wait. Say that again?
Did you want to see these kids bleed? It's on recording.
I said that.
It's on video.
I said that. I don't duck nothing. I said that. But,
so what?
But wait, no.
So
wait, hold.
What exactly did Dubowski do for you to say that?
What did he say about mine first?
No, you're trying to answer a question with a question, and that's not what the title of your show is.
I'm telling you facts. He came at mine first.
Okay,
he came at my mother first.
Where's the proof of that?
Listen, I got all recordings for it.
Out of all of this,
watch this.
Dubowski's the only one with valid receipts. You don't have receipts on that.
You sure?
You don't.
You sure?
You don't.
Listen.
So show the receipts of that.
Listen, watch this.
So show the
I will run a whole
segment.
segment.
You want to sit here and say you didn't give anything to Levi?
I am not going to argue back and forth.
Because you sat right on your own live and gave yourself up.
Listen. And I'm going to tell it to you like this. The one thing Dubowski...
It came out of your own mouth.
Listen, I'm not going to keep letting you cut me off. And I'm not going to get upset. But one thing I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, you were upset this morning when you decided to make a whole live about.
No, I wasn't upset.
When the question wasn't towards you, it was towards China. So you should have stayed out of a woman's business.
Hold on,
I was
check this
asking
out.
her a question.
But you included me in your business.
But let's go back. I like to know.
You included me in your business.
Of the boss coming at you first.
And one thing I'm gonna tell you is this: you ain't gonna keep over talking me when I'm explaining to you.
And what are you gonna do about it?
Okay, check this out. Get the fuck off my shit. If you can't be respectful, get the fuck off. So, one thing for certain, two things for sure. I don't play games. Nah. Listen. If you can't be respectful, don't call back. All right?
Respectful. I'm asking a question.
Right.
So because
and when I was answering your question and you trying to cut me off.
The question doesn't fit your narrative, you want to get upset.
I don't have a narrative.
Now,
I don't have a narrative.
Now,
I don't have a narrative. Like I said,
the proof that Daboski did this to you first? Because I ain't seen it.
Matter of fact, let me help you real quick and understand who the hell you think you're talking to.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Okay, let's do this real quick. Not only do I document everything.
Do you realize that the government is aware of what you've been doing?
Not only do I document everything from 2020,
do you realize that the government
but I have
is aware
everything
of the shit that you've been doing?
I have everything. Check it.
Okay.
I'm not ducking no wreck.
Okay. So
I'm not ducking no wreck.
When you had that fake beef with Levi,
I ain't have a fake beef.
Up there, you sat right up there and you said that you knew what Levi's plan was for Daboski to go to jail, and you still sent information into Levi. Am I correct? That came out of your mouth.
Listen.
On your own live.
Listen, I'm going to ask you this.
Right or wrong?
Am I Daboski's keeper?
Right or wrong?
Am I Daboski's keeper?
You're his super fan. That's for sure.
Never that.
Because you're talking about y'all were friends.
All of y'all want to be like me.
Friends, if you please.
All of y'all want to be like me. Watch this. Why do you keep calling back?
Nobody wants to be like you.
Sweetie,
this is the internet.
Check this out.
People are going to comment on commentary. That's what they're going to do. And you continuously stalk people. You continuously try. Oh, yeah, you do.
Oh, the lies you
pretty much
talking.
stalked me. You wasn't even in the chat.
I stalked you?
Yeah.
How I stalked you? You talking about me?
Pretty much you did. Because you have a problem with people expressing their First Amendment rights.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You just should have scrolled on by what I said.
Y'all got problems when I express me.
So you sounded like a hit dog hollering. So I must have said something that triggered you.
No, you lied.
How did I lie?
Really? You lied.
So what you gonna do when it comes out? What you gonna do?
Listen, I can't wait.
What you gonna do?
I can't. You know what? This is what I want you to do. This what I want you. No. This what I want you to do because I know your leader is listening, right? This what I want you to do.
No leader.
Listen.
This
is what I want you to do.
By the facts that I'm seeing out here.
Come on,
None of the facts that you brought out. Everybody else seems to have facts on you, but you don't have shit.
Oh my God!
All you do is run to the police. That's all you do.
Who?
And it's gonna come out that's what it is.
And you can't
what
find.
What are you gonna do?
And you can't find not one time that I ran to the police. Never.
Oh, really?
Never.
Okay.
Not one.
Okay. All right, we'll see about that.
But how many police reports do your leader got on me?
Police reports?
Yeah.
What police reports?
Oh, see, that's how I know you ain't been in this thing long enough.
No. What police reports? Like I said, if you
and you trying to disguise your voice, Glenda. Stop.
Oh, I'm Glenda now.
Stop.
You
please.
are pathetic.
Please.
You are pathetic.
Okay.
You are pathetic.
You're trying to disguise your voice, Glenda. Stop.
And I don't use an avatar.
Stop,
That's
Glenda.
really me.
Stop, please.
Oh, this is Glenda now. This is Glenda now. Another person that you sat up here and said you set up. You're a piece of shit and you're an informant and you need to stop fucking lying to them people over there. Period.
You finished? Because you don't have no proof of nothing that you talk.
Oh, I do. Believe that.
Okay.
Believe that.
Okay. So
over there calling people baby mothers, putting their VIN numbers up there, telling them that they want their kids to bleed and all types of shit. You should be ashamed of your motherfucking self. You really should. You really should.
So let me ask you this, stupid. What was done to me?
Oh, now you want to call names.
What was done to me?
Ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous. It's not.
I know a demon when I see one, and I stand by what the fuck I said.
Yes, okay.
Period.
Okay, cool.
All right? So, tell your people.
You tell the people.
The part that you played.
What part did I play?
You already said it.
Tell the people.
Which is the crazy part. So you try to confuse your people and try to deflect with other shit. Join other people's beat that ain't got shit to do with you.
This is what I mean when I say stupid people.
It's the truth. It's the
truth. I want y'all to hear this.
But you're the one that came on your own live saying what you did. Like, you make no sense. You think people's dummies out here. You really think so?
I just showed you a whole file that I have on Devo, right? I just showed you a whole file, right? Second of all, y'all done called my baby mama.
A whole file? What you need a file for? Informants do shit like that.
Oh, you know what? Now I'm informant because I'm protecting myself. Look, you're the one that said that the feds know. Y'all done went to the feds. Y'all did this. Have the feds call me.
What are you saying?
Listen.
They got your number probably on speed dial. Like, come on now, you're an informant. Stop playing. Stop playing. And you laughing at shit because you know I'm telling the truth. You got mad this morning because you know I'm telling the truth. You're a hit dog fucking hollering. You're a demon. You're a fucking demon.
You know what? Listen.
You're a demon, and I stand by what the fuck I said. And this ain't fucking Glenda.
Ooh, listen. I'm a demon, right?
You are a fucking demon.
Stop me. So Ray Patterson, Glenda, whoever your split personality is, do you want to tell the people what part I played?
You already said it yourself.
No.
You already said it yourself.
No.
You already said it yourself.
You here? Listen. I'm not even gonna stop you. I want you to tell the people what part I played. I want to hear this live.
If you trying to play that game that you play with your followers, come on now.
Listen. Everybody over here know the truth.
Yeah, okay.
If you look in the chat, they are laughing at you.
When the shit comes out, then they'll see.
Okay.
They'll see who they supporting.
Okay.
A fucking informant.
There she. Just like y'all said, I'm testifying against R. Kelly, right?
Now, hey, I believe that. I believe you sent in shit.
But did you see me take the stand?
The people came out here with proof. If you got proof, I'm going to read it. I'm going to acknowledge it.
What people had proof?
Okay. You want to act stupid.
No, I'm asking you because what you're saying is not making sense.
Listen, I'm not going to stay on the phone too long because I got responsibilities. But at the end of the day, I stand by what the fuck I said.
Okay.
I know that you're an informant.
Can I ask you a question, Ray Patterson?
No, you don't need to answer.
What do you call 5 people standing on the corner?
Boy, ain't nobody got...
This is what I mean when I say stupid people. Oh, you this, you that. You don't have no proof or nothing. What part did you play in sending Levi stuff? What part did I play? Like I said, I got a file from beginning to end when it all started. I got videos from beginning to end when it all started. I never attacked nobody. But that's what I mean when I say distractions. She calls in to try to defend her position of her being a liar and being wrong. And then her voice started changing. And that's why I say what I say. Like, why do you keep doing? Come on, yo. It ain't no need to play games, man. A nigga jump in the chat named Alex Patterson. That can be anybody. Alex Patterson. You know what I mean? But since you want to play games, I'm going to play them games with you. I'm going to show you what playing with me get you. Now, you act like I'm Daboski's keeper. You act like I give a fuck about a Daboski. Nah. You act like I give a fuck about the same nigga that said there's no honor in defending a pedophile. Who's a pedophile? R. Kelly's name is worth being thrown under the bus. I ain't never say that. He said that. He had slapped the shit out of R. Kelly. Really? But you naming yourself R. Kelly Jr. Hey, I don't know what's going on with those people. But what I am going to do is make you even madder. Because you played into my hands. We heard Robert say that he don't rock with Don Russell. Then the PI come out knowing that Robert don't know what's going on and says this.
Don Russell is, from what I know, is someone that cares passionately about Mr. Kelly, and Mr. Kelly is aware of that.
Say that again.
Don Russell is, from what I know, is someone that cares passionately about Mr. Kelly, and Mr. Kelly is aware of that.
So if you're a PI for R. Kelly, and you know Robert said he don't fuck with Don, why would you come out and say that? But then I got something better. Hold on. From Robert's mouth.
Okay, what's going on right now is I just saw the news. I talked to Jennifer. Somebody that faked an album called I Admit It and put it out there as if it was me putting it out. And I'm not putting out any albums. I haven't put out any albums. I'm not even having any interest in putting out any albums because my only focus is the appeal and everything else. But it seems like somebody wants this album out to mess with the appeal, because why would I put an album out called I Admit It? Okay, so that's right there. It makes no damn sense. So I just want people to know, and Jennifer let people know, and whoever let them know that that's not my album. I won't even put an album out right now while I'm dealing with all of this stuff anyway. Okay, and I hope people recognize my voice and know that. Okay, so yeah, that I wish they'd find out who did it and who's putting it out there, because they also, on top of that, they're probably making money off of it. And it's just messed up. And then it happens to come at the time I'm working on my appeal that an album comes out that's supposed to be for me called I Admit It. It's just really just fucked up. It just really is, man. And standing here looking in the mirror, saying damn to myself, I should have known the day would come. She would find somebody else, and all the things I took her through. So this is me. This is my voice, and I would never put an album out right now. And I definitely ain't gonna put a damn album out called I Admit It.
So that's Robert telling you that he didn't put an album out called I Admit It, right? However, the crazy folks sit back and say, well, you know, Robert did this, Robert did that, Robert did this, Robert did that. Okay. So if Robert ain't do it, then who did it? I'm gonna ask that question. And this is what make them people so mad. This is why they hate me so much. Because if Robert ain't do it, then who put the album out? Well, let's see if I can help y'all with that.
Robert, like, he doesn't do any of that for Rob. I know who handles Rob's business. Matter of fact, it was me that was handling a majority of Rob's business at the time. Because Rob's business had intertwined into my business. So, you know, but fast forwarding to answer the question, listen, there's a lot of folks in Rob's camp that has snaked him over down to something he would never believe. And unraveling the truths and asking Rob questions about people who stole from him and things of that nature and crew members that stole, nobody's even looking at. I mean, you know, these girls are all smoke and mirrors. The Honda Pages, the Stockton McGee, the Phase One, they're smoke and mirrors. That's what they want us focused on. The real intruders, the people who really did wrong by this man, in his own camp. Because even with all of them coming forth in accusations, everything that they're charging him for now is not based on him having sex with any of these girls. It's racketeering. It's trafficking. It's things that they're bending law to fit to have so when he does have his day in court, nobody's prepared for that. And the only way they arrived at that conclusion is because of the people that's right around Rob, the managers that were stealing, the accountants that were stealing, the lawyers that were stealing, the ecosystem that they designed to steal all this money from him. And the moment he started investigating they stealing, they planted landmines. So when he step out, boom, they go off into space. And that's what I'm just talking about. 5 or 6 people. I'm talking about every goddamn body. He was $900 million in the hole that should have been in his pocket where everybody stole from him. They gave him a weekly allowance. And that's what I investigated. So, of course, I'm going to have enemies because these motherfuckers know I know shit about their dirt. And we're preparing for that when we get to court. Everybody's thinking we should be prepared for your Honda face. Fuck your Honda. She done done so much dirt in her years. Listen, I can oppose her in 10 seconds and this shit would be over with. There's some motherfuckers like Cheryl Mack and a whole bunch of other names that don't nobody know exist in his life, and Barry Hankerson and goddamn Linda and goddamn Joan and Diane and Cash. Don't know anybody looking at them folks. Those are the ones that need to be under scrutiny and investigation right now. Fuck a DanaJay, fuck a trying to pay. They ain't done nothing. We can get them out the way real easy. What about the ones who stole? Man, it seemed as if he was doing all this crooked shit and just to throw him under the bus so he couldn't come after them. That's what we're dealing with right now. So Dana don't know shit about none of that shit, so he needs to stop. He can tell us about these hoes all day long. All he's doing is distracting people from the real folks that have wronged this man and put him in that situation. And I wasn't one of them. I just came around the man a year and a half ago. The dirt had been done already. I mean, stop with that shit. Like, I came to help this guy. I've known him since our childhood years. Keyed off this man today. I spent over $100 grand that I definitely can show. And if you Google my ass, you can see that I've got a background where it's possible. I've done good things in Hollywood. My family owns a chain of restaurants. I own a tech company, president and CEO. We fixed $3 million a couple of years ago for that tech company. So what am I doing but bringing my resources to the table to help this man? And people like Dana that's throwing shade on that, they're not helping him. They're not helping that man by doing that shit. When I told Greg, I'm going to twist to Greenberg real quick. When I told Greenberg, and I'll say this to him if he was after his fucking phone, and it's funny, he after his phone, but Dana, but not me. He took us in the studio in the back booth, me and you, Greenberg, and said, Greenberg, work with Don. He's got the shit that you need to free me of this.
Hold on.
You're not helping that man by doing that shit. When I told Greg, I'm going to twist to Greenberg real quick. When I told Greenberg, and I'll say this to him if he was after his fucking phone, and it's funny, he after his phone, but Dana, but not me.
So the jealousy, Greenberg will answer his phone for Dana, but not me. The jealousy, but let's continue. What up, bro?
He took us in the studio in the back booth, me and you, Greenberg.
Right, Mama Mary.
Greenberg, work with Don. He's got the shit that you need to free me of this case. But this was when the case was a lot lesser. This one, there was lesser charges. This other shit that became federal and all that, Rob let Sam Greenberg for that shit. Matter of fact, Greenberg was brought to Rob out in the cold, who handled the Bill Cosby case. She couldn't do it, so he stepped his ass in when it was lesser charges. He's not equipped to handle these motherfucking charges that I just Rob, which is why I brought in Melvin off of that shit. And nobody else did. I flew out to California, met the man, brought him here twice, met him here, never said anything about the shit because Rob needs that level of attorney to put a blanket on this shit. He needs Andrew Wyatt, that level of a PR specialist to come in and blanket and control the fucking press. That's what he needs. Not these low-level motherfuckers who ain't never had a dogfight at the top of the mountain. They can't even breathe with this shit. So for them to keep going out here first of all, none of these motherfuckers get along. They don't communicate. Doug doesn't communicate with fucking Greenberg. Greenberg don't communicate with Ray. Ray don't communicate with nobody. Nicole, all them motherfuckers are long range just trying to sling bullets and get press and shit for their own good. They're not helping that man. And if this will cause them to do it, then guess what? Bring y'all ass together, have some strategy sessions. Hey, listen, if I had some fucking information that was valuable to winning the game, hear him out. But Rob told that motherfucker to talk to me, and he won't do it. Why? Why is it that he won't sit down and get the information that I have that nobody's focused in on? We don't want the world to know. I just want them to know. We're not trying to let the other side know about what we've come up with that will help defend this man. I want him to have it so he can use it to defend this man. And if he decides it's no good, it's fine too. But Rob asked that motherfucker to do that shit. And he still to this day will not fucking come out here and throw shots in the dark and shit that we did. If you want to know who ended Rob's motherfucking tax problem, my mother did that shit. We eliminated those tax problems from him. He's not going to have no issue with the IRS now. Can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took him to eliminate them fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't. They can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. It's phony portal. It's phony contract. I have all of that shit. And I'm not leaked any of it because you know what? I want it to go into the hands of the right person. Not these low-life motherfuckers who are trying to touch, do books, stay in front of a fucking camera or microphone at his expense. He wouldn't have that shit if he was out. He know damn that it's phony portal. It's phony contract. I have all of that shit. And what we've come up with that will help defend this man. I want him to have it so he can use it to defend this man. And if he decides it's no good, it's fine too. But Rob asked that motherfucker to do that shit. And he still to this day will not fucking come out here and throw shots in the dark and shit that we did. If you want to know who ended Rob's motherfucking tax problem, my mother did that shit. We eliminated those tax problems from him. He's not going to have no issue with the IRS now. Can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took him to eliminate them fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't. They can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. It's phony portal. It's phony contract. I have all of that shit. And I'm not leaked any of it because you know what? I want it to go into the hands of the right person. Not these low-life motherfuckers who are trying to touch, do books, stay in front of a fucking camera or microphone at his expense. He wouldn't have that shit if he was out. He know damn well if Rob was on the street, he would not have your ass speaking his honor or raising money in his honor. That's bullshit. So cut it out.
So it sounds like, I hear the passion in your voice. And it obviously is weighing heavy on your heart. And I'm glad that you're actually out here being man enough to,
when I open the phone lines back
approach
up,
these platforms and speak your mind. I guess the question I have.
Now, but I'm running the show right now.
I got Rolling Stones, CBS, NBC, all want me to put me in front of a camera. But the moment I get in front of that camera, I'm a target now. I can't move around and do what the fuck I'm doing. I got people sending death threats because of the dumb shit that Dana and these idiots are fucking spewing out here. Cut it the fuck out. He's not helping this man. You can go online and see it. If he has me listed as his fucking manager, I didn't do that shit. I did articles here for months ago for him because he asked me to. So when all the other managers stole from him, I said, listen, Rob, you don't need another manager. I'll be.
So the question is, you know what? Like I said, so constantly harassment. Constantly. Oh, just call. Look at this. You know, I'm gonna get the people what they want. You live on the Dana J show. How can I help you?
Keep Sylvia's name out your mouth, bitch. Keep her name out your mouth, bitch. Alright? Keep her name out your mouth, nigga. All you do is sit on the internet and talk about R. Kelly, nigga.
Damn, but they got Don Snow calling me, but I made them all bad. And ain't none of them niggas gonna show up at a pie factory. Yeah, I get it. So, like I was saying, I'm not gonna entertain this. So, like I say, hey Judah, you know, nah, I ain't gonna do that, man. I ain't gonna do that. Because I got all the groupies calling me tonight. So I will say this. LaTanya Walker just called me while I was playing Dawn thing, right? And she was saying, what is wrong with you? You talk about God and this, and then you get on here and do this. And I do what? I defend myself. So like I told LaTanya Walker, she can call back in once I finish playing the Dawn situation. Because at the end of the day, I'm starting to see another pattern forming. And the truth hurts. But like I say, if the feds had me as their person of interest on the Dubosky case, he wouldn't see the light of day. Because everything I have will match up to everything that's in his cloud on his computer. And you will see that it's been a counter attack the whole time. So while people talking, I'm gonna let them talk. And here she go. That's what I like. You're live on the Dana J Show, LaTanya Walker. How can I help you?
Dana, you think this a game? This none of this stuff is a game, and I wish you would stop it. If this guy is really your mentee, friend, whatever, at this point, I don't know who, what, the that, cat, none of this stuff. But if it is to be true, then stop the nonsense.
What nonsense?
He has actually, if you cared about him, he has requested that the nonsense stop.
What nonsense?
So if he's your whoever, why aren't you honoring his word?
Can I ask you a question?
Ask me. I'm fine.
What nonsense are you talking about?
All this back and forthing. If everyone would have just stayed focused on facts, on what was going on with the case, everybody has accountability in this situation. Do you hear me? All of it. And then I hold the ones that say they know this man even on a higher standard. Okay? Because if I don't really know you, why do I may, do it blog for entertainment purposes, comedy, finances, whatever the reason. But it's basically, I really don't give a fuck about, the person or persons, whatever. But if you have some kind of extension to this man, then why would you want to be doing this?
Doing what?
I don't. It goes past me.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again. What am I doing that's hurting everybody except for putting the truth out there?
Everything. All of it. Just stop.
So you want me to stop telling the truth?
Everybody stop.
So you want me to stop telling the truth?
No, if you're telling the truth, Dana, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't. That's why I'm asking you.
You know what I'm talking about. And even if, let me say this, even if you felt like Dubosky was wrong or whatever, Dana
you did not have to do the things that you did, because now you're going to be held accountable for it. People don't even understand it. I never played them games like if somebody do something to me, call whatever. I call about Larry's disturbing stuff, but I never called on anyone else. That's none of my business to be even wishing bad upon anyone. So when you do things like that, it is going, whether you appreciated what they have said, and then you irritated me so because you were in the church playing drums and all kind of stuff, Sunday. The service and everything, and then you come with all these joker things, like a madman, like you're Satan's child, just birth you right then and there with all that evil spirit and stuff, like I was trying to figure out what was going on with this case, and I got to watch all this demonized stuff going on. And I myself have been accountable for certain things, because if you land them up with people doing stuff, you'll eventually start doing things too.
Okay.
Not to say I couldn't have stopped, but whatever is in you, most people that are saved, that are Christians, were not once before, and whatever is in you before, it can come back.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
What is the question?
And the question is this: you claim I'm doing demonic stuff, right?
Yeah, even calling out Ray Patterson, this and that. Somebody don't do that. Stop doing things to women too.
Listen.
Like, you're the male, you're supposed to be the stronger vessel in situation.
Listen, because I'm about to take you there.
Take me.
And here's the thing.
Me see where.
If Ray Patterson don't mention me, I don't have to mention Ray Patterson, right?
Listen.
No.
Let me say this. You can speak. Let me say this, because you're saying, okay, just like I'm telling you, I'm watching the things and questions are coming on my mind about certain things. The same thing. So, like, everybody's probably thinking differently. Some people may be like, oh yeah, Dana, whatever, this and that, and some people are like, what the fuck is this dude doing, whatever, this and that. So then you have questions and stuff, or if you see someone doing something, then you're like, oh well, in my opinion, this is what I gathered together from seeing certain stuff. But that's her opinion, and we are supposed to be able to voice that all over the YouTube. Hell, we're not the bloggers. We're just people in the chat.
Okay. So are you finished? Because I don't want I don't want to be interrupted. And I'm being nice and I'm being fair. Because I want you to get everything out. Because when I start, I don't want to be interrupted. And because one thing I do is I put facts out there. I don't put feelings. So let's go here. Ray Patterson started with me. I asked a question. And Ray Patterson, Flay Patterson, Flea Patterson, me Patterson, whatever it is.
No, I cannot let you do that.
No, wait.
Talk about her with me on the phone.
Listen,
I can't do that.
Listen.
No, I'm not going to allow you to do that. You stop that right now.
And you can't tell me what you're going to allow me to do on my show.
Yeah, you're not. I am not going to allow you to do that.
Listen. If you can't take the heat, don't jump in the kitchen.
Even me being a female, I would stare you right in your face and tell you, you are not going to disrespect Ray Patterson or no one that I've developed some kind of relationship with.
All right, so because it's funny to me because y'all catching feelings, I'm catching flights.
It's not catching no feelings. I'm a human being. You talking about catching feelings, then you must be the demonic person you can. Because I don't know anyone, even if I that was just bashing people, smashing people. If you smash a person long enough, you may be coming in talking about, oh, I'm just hitting it. And then you end up, because there's no way unless you do have some demon spirit and you don't have feelings.
Hold on. But let me get to the gusto. Let me stop playing with you real quick. Don't you follow a man that harass women 24/7?
Who's he harassing 24/7?
Where do you want me to start? Everybody from,
I don't know.
Everybody from the Dream Team, Prima Donna,
so
Hollywood Next.
T-Baby when he harassing the people 24/7.
Listen.
So T-Baby just gonna stand there and be
she's scared of him.
Yeah.
She's scared of him.
Go ahead and do it. Do it.
Hold on,
baby.
caller.
Yeah.
Hold on, caller. She's scared of him, and that's a proven fact. But let's go here, Miss LaTanya Walker. Why
do you have to call my whole entire name? Like
okay.
That doesn't even...
Okay, but let's go ahead, Miss LaTanya. Okay, did that sound better? Okay. Don't you follow a man, but that said, there's no honor in defending a pedophile?
Dana, let me tell you, stop twisting words. Because listen to this.
What did I twist? This is what he said.
Listen, Dana, listen. Because how would I go to my job and say, yeah, I support R. Kelly? You think I would do that?
If you support R. Kelly, why not?
That's an example. Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I go everywhere I go saying what?
You do, Miss
I stand for R. Kelly. Hold on, caller.
That's just saying it's no honor because he's being accused, and until he's proven innocent, then people are going to be like, well, I don't know, I do know, I don't know, I do know.
So basically, and what y'all saying is that he's a pedophile, and because that's what they trying to label him as, then, right?
We did not say anything. Do you think we would?
He said, word for word, there's no honor in defending a pedophile.
Let me tell you something, Dana. Do you think I spent my money, do you think, and then I walked miles? Do you think I just want, I'll just go, just blow that money, just shit on whatever I spent, hard sweat or whatever, and just blow it for someone I don't even know?
Do you want me to be honest with you?
Right. What?
Do you want me to be honest with you? And because you just said something very key.
What did I say very key?
You said, do you think that I would just take my hard-earned money and walk the streets and travel for somebody I don't even know? Wait a minute. How long have you and Debosky known each other?
And I thought that they were guilty. Do you think I would do that? Like, go ahead. Entertain me with the answer.
But don't you follow somebody that said in part 1, there's no honor in defending a pedophile, and then in part 2, wait, listen.
In the public eye, Dana, that is true.
But if you are a supporter, the public eye don't matter.
I can't even go anywhere and say that man's name without people looking at you crazy. Turn on some music. I was laughing earlier. I was playing some of his music, right? And then so I got to the light, right? And then the lady looking at me, but I'm like, today I'm like feeling okay, so I turned it up. But normally I'd probably like creep it down a little bit or whatever, because that's how people making you feel like you ashamed or you're going to be talked about or whatever for doing this.
Listen.
That's what he's saying.
Listen.
Like, stop twisting people's words.
Listen.
That's not right, Dana.
Listen, if that's what he's saying, he should have said that. But
he said
wait, listen. But right after he said that, he said, I will throw R. Kelly under the bus because his name ain't worth even talking about. Explain that.
I can't explain that.
Oh,
I do know this.
But you can explain there's no honor in defending a pedophile.
I just told you that. And if I can't explain it, I will say truthfully. I'm not going to sit up here and lie, but I will say this much. Let me say this. Each and every one of us are human beings, okay? And if I set up and supported someone and gave my freaking all, which Debosky has done, like him or not, he has done that, okay? So, and then I'm being attacked and being locked up because of this man. I probably at some point get to the point like
Stop.
Like that.
Stop.
Think about it.
Stop.
It's human.
Stop. I'm not going to let you get away with that lie.
Oh, really?
Stop. Here it is.
That's not a
Here
lie.
it is, and I'm gonna break it down. The Boski did not get locked up because of R. Kelly. Now
he got locked up for dealing with all these people and all this crazy nonsense. What I just spoke about that has been going on for 4 years. Instead of us giving information and helping this man, 80% of the time was used throwing up each other pictures, talking about folks' mamas, and all kind of stuff like that.
Latanya.
And I know your parents should be shamed.
And Latanya, listen. Now, here's where I break down the truth at. Boski got locked up the first time in New York because of what he posted on the internet when he posted nobody's anything, naked pictures all over the internet. That's called reverse porn, and you can't do that. That's illegal everywhere. Wait, no. Hold on. Listen.
And that girl was not right.
This is what get me. This is what get me with y'all.
Woman that did wrong.
Oh my God.
She knew all the things about that situation with that man, and she decided, just like those girls decided, to still mess with him. And then when it didn't turn out her way, then she wants to go do things like that to him.
Listen.
But you want to say you're supporting men. How can you do that? And then you're doing the same thing to him that these people have done to your mentor, you said.
Listen, this man done sat up there and trying to fabricate a fucking rape case on me. What are you talking about?
Y'all all was just doing things to each other.
Nah, it ain't no doing things to each other. If you ain't gonna stand for the truth, it ain't no need for you to stand at all.
Would retaliate and say, okay, this and that. It's just back and forth like some little kids. Stop doing that.
Listen,
put that down.
Nobody's anything was right for having his ass locked up for what he did. I'm going to put it there. The second time he got locked up. Wait. For the second time he got locked up, Latanya, it's because the second time he got locked up is when he threatened the AUSAs. Who does that?
He did not threaten those people, and y'all know that. And you shouldn't even play games with them people, with that man.
I have the whole recording.
You know us black people already go through enough of
I'm not black.
Shit on our own every time we leave out our fucking households, and then you gonna come starting some shit with some damn black person, and you black your own self. You ought to be ashamed yourself. And then listen, this Black History Month, and you still.
I don't have time for that. I don't have time for bullshit. Y'all better quit playing with me.
I'm just trying to figure out because
y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
And you should be ashamed of yourself.
Freaking up, Dana.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You taking up for a man that did the wrong things he did. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself, Latanya. I am appalled. I don't know why you are taking up for somebody who is wrong. Now, if he was right, I would say Boski was right. And you seen me do it. But he is wrong. And he deserves everything he gets.
Do you know how the Jews deal with each other?
I don't care about a Jew.
They don't put each other in a freaking jail. They don't do that shit.
So what they do, but they go get Hanukkahs and say, "Oh, you go ahead and do this." Like,
you're supposed to be men and sit down and talk about it, or just leave each other the fuck alone.
Well, guess what? Didn't your leader just sit back today and say, "Oh, we see your name in paperwork"? Man, listen. Let me tell you something about the government.
Look what all he has endured.
I don't give a fuck about him. I'm not his keeper. He ain't my homie. We ain't friends.
That's wrong, Dana.
Fuck him.
That's wrong, Dana.
Fuck him.
You wrong, Dana.
Fuck him.
You wrong. You are wrong.
And you know what? If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right.
Well, okay. That shit is not right. That shit is not right.
If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right. But guess what?
None of you guys have any of you guys that done something to Debosky? Have you guys gone to jail?
Wait.
Have any of you gone to jail?
Wait. Have Debosky went to jail for anything he did to the guys?
Y'all prompt people to do things. Even the girl over, because I don't want to disrespect that girl.
You can't disrespect her.
But she was lying, but I don't.
She ain't lying about shit. He did it. And she took
it to herself.
Listen. That's just like me and you having sex, right? Me and you smashing.
No, don't go there.
Nah, fuck that. I'm going there. That's like me and you fucking, right?
I'm gonna hang the fucking phone up. You and Jasmine. You and Jasmine.
Listen.
How many times y'all did it? Pick one of those times.
Listen.
Let's discuss.
Listen. I'm just saying, you can use me and Jasmine, but Jasmine ain't here. And we all know that she lied. But I'm just saying it in a point of view because you here. So that's like me and you having sex. And me and So, oh no, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, baby. You came in the kitchen, and now we're gonna cook this motherfucker today. So, just like I say, that's just like me and you having sex. And then on top of that, you get mad because I don't want to hit you. You get mad because I don't want to put the dingo in you no more. And then you start putting my dick all over the internet. I can have you locked up. That's reverse porn.
That's just awful, Dana. I don't even have no response for that. But you know
why? Because it's fact. LaToya, you know I'm telling the truth.
Because you gotta pay for some of this shit you out here doing.
What I do?
I want to live a good life of God. I don't want to have to pay for shit I'm doing. I'm not gonna have a response to you.
Listen.
I'm tired of this. Y'all gotta be tired of this.
Listen.
This shit is demon.
Listen, I'm not going back and forth with your leader. This guy does voodoo. He prays to a motherfucking Lord demon inside of a jar. He put names in there. So listen.
But if that's what he wanted, that's his personal business.
Listen, that's his You're right. That's his personal business. But when he putting our names in this Lord jar, but I got a Lord demon thing. Tell us something. Oh, we gonna get him.
Y'all can't be messing with everybody.
Listen. I return the same energy to whoever bring it to me. So if you want to get on demon time, I can get on demon time too. And the problem is, it's cool when y'all do it, but when I do it, it's a problem.
When God calls your time and you standing before him, you gonna be saying, oh yeah, well he did this and that. So you know, God, I said, really?
When God called me, and you know what he gonna say? You did good, thou faithful servant. You may enter into the kingdom of God.
It ain't April 1st yet, is it?
Oh no, because you being fooled. The only part about you being fooled is you following the fool.
Yeah,
and I think you are so much smarter than that. At the end of the day, I'm not saying leave Debosky alone. I'm just saying think for yourself.
I can't think for myself. And I've never leave Debosky to himself. Debosky is a nice person.
Listen,
regardless of
I said that too.
Has their own perception of a being.
This is the problem.
Based on their relationship.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
Maybe you and Debosky knew each other in the past life and y'all mean back.
I don't know,
I don't know what it is, but when me and Debosky met up in the past life, we was good with each other and we still chilling with each other.
Oh, so y'all met up in a past life? Well, good goddamn to y'all. But here's what I'm gonna say. I even said Debosky was a good guy. Until
leave it at that.
Wait. Listen. No. Listen. I said that at one point in time. But when the nice guy that I thought was nice stuck the dagger in my back. No. Stuck the dagger in my back. And then turned it. And then pried it. And then turned it some more. I can't consider you a nice guy no more. But the problem was when he stuck me in my back, I laughed. I didn't fall. I turned around and grabbed the knife and told him, leave. Don't ever come back again. At the end of the day, he got to answer for what he did. If I sat there and threatened the motherfucking government and police officials and this, I deserve to be locked up too.
Man, Dana, stop saying that. You know the government ain't doing it. Lying.
Listen, I will run everything he fucking said from day one.
You know when that man was saying 30
listen to
rounds
me.
and all that, we had been saying 30 rounds of duration, 30 rounds of you know what all he was saying, but it had nothing to do with no threatening, no 30 rounds of bullets and whatever they came up with. That ain't nothing but a lie.
Walker.
You know that ain't nothing but a lie. You ought to cut that out. You ain't gonna be able to sleep good tonight, Danny. You ought to stop.
Listen to me and listen to me well.
Ooh, child.
Listen to me and listen to me well. I'm not even laughing now. Because now I'm starting to feel sorry for you. You should know.
Sorry for me for what?
Listen. For you to say he wasn't talking about no 30 rounds of ammunition, listen.
He was not, Dana. You know that.
That's twice you done said it. Listen.
I'm going to say it how many more times? Okay. He was not saying it. 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 In that matter. He was not saying it.
Watch
in that matter. He was not saying it. Hey, Homeland Security, call me. Call me. Dana got my phone number, and I will tell y'all. Is in my country self. I will tell y'all that the Boski was not saying that in the manner in which they put in them papers, and they know it. Cut that shit out. Homeland Security.
Excuse me. Watch this. While you sitting up there saying that, listen. While you sitting up there saying that, they're laughing at you, and I'm gonna tell you why. Do you not know that they went through his phone cloud? Anything he sent to anybody, whether it's private chat or whatever, they have.
Okay.
Watch this. So
you tell me, Dana.
Let's go here.
Debosky don't think he gonna go up, and Debosky done told y'all how he got physical issues going on with his leg and shit. And so him and all our old asses with whatever people don't even know ailing us and shit, we gonna go rambusk up in there like them monkeys did at the White House and acting like we on Planet of the Apes, huh? Right. Okay, it sounds good. It sounds
I'm not even laughing though.
And I don't even know. That shit ain't even cool. Come on now.
Okay, watch this. Let's put up 15,000 right now that I know for a fact, and Debosky was talking about ammunition.
Let's put it up.
So is that a fact?
That's a fact.
Okay. When you should be hitting my Cash App?
I ain't gonna send no 15,000 on no Cash App.
What? Okay. When are you gonna hit my Zelle?
Let me see the information. And Dana J, you know damn well if you had some hot pancakes like that, you would have been flipped them motherfuckers over. You ought to cut that out.
Not true.
You know you ain't gonna sleep good tonight.
Not true.
All these lies you on here telling Dana.
Really? Okay.
Cut that out.
Okay.
Dan, you done told how many lies in 5 minutes?
None.
And like I said, you stop disrespecting that man if he your mentor.
I never disrespected Rob.
And told y'all that he does not like all of this. He does not want this. This ain't a good look for him. And y'all still going on with this bullshit. You know why y'all doing it too if y'all do know him? Because it ain't you. Because if it was you being done like that, up in that prison, up in that little shithole, in the belly of the beast, fighting for your life, sleeping, not sleeping, wondering if you can sleep, eating all that old nasty food they feeding them people. Hell, probably barely sleeping. I don't know how hard that cart is.
Hold on. Hello. Hold on. Hello. So you said that you want to send my 15,000, right?
Show it to me.
Okay, I'm about to do it right now. Hold on.
Let me see.
Hold on.
Hold a minute. Text it to my phone. You see my phone number up there. Text it to my phone.
Oh no, I'm gonna put it public.
Listen, Dana. I just got a new phone tonight. I dropped my phone, so I don't know how to work this phone yet. So it's off of the screen where you are.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. I got it. No, I think. Yes. Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. Hello. Hello. Damn. All right, so you gonna send it or not? Latonya.
Yes.
Are you gonna send my Cash App? I meant my Zelle or what?
I'm looking at the screen, and the screen's showing we already said that stuff. I'm trying to look and see. I don't see anything but what we said maybe 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
And I see you laughing at me and stuff, so whatever.
Okay.
But if I see it, let me see it. That you said it says that Debowski was saying on that live that 30 rounds we were going to go to the courthouse and do all that stuff they said, right? Mm-hmm. That's what the paperwork says. Hello?
Yeah, hold on.
I know damn well that paperwork ain't said that. If that paperwork say that shit, they put that.
But I ain't say nothing about no paperwork now. But I ain't say no paperwork said. But I said he said it.
No.
And I ain't say no paperwork.
Paperwork. No, that ain't what you said.
No, I didn't. But don't try to switch it. I said Debowski clearly said.
That's what you said. That's why I've been trying to look on the screen because you said you was gonna put it up there.
I'm gonna put it up here, but I ain't say Debowski said no paperwork.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. But don't lie.
You did. Hey, what? That's lie number 75, ain't it?
Okay.
God damn, Danny, you need to cut that out.
Okay. Well, if that's what you believe, then okay. So we got.
You ought to be shaming yourself.
So we got $15,000 bet, right?
You just said it ain't in the paperwork.
Okay. No, it's what he said.
That man ain't said that either.
Really?
Neither one.
This what
it
you do.
It ain't in the paperwork.
This what you do. I'm going to text this to somebody, and I'm going to have them come on, and I ain't going to say nothing. I'm going to let them tell you.
So who was he talking to when he was saying it?
Man, I'm not putting that out there.
Was it so him and another member was saying, well, yeah, I wouldn't have did no crazy shit like that. Like I said, these folks don't know what these folks illnesses and shit is there. Them folks have a heart attack, stroke, and every damn thing before they damn jump the damn fence. Wasn't nobody talking about no shit like that, no way. That's a lie. You know the government lied.
Okay.
And y'all called up there and gave them people that information. Y'all know y'all wrong for that. That was some dirty, low-down stuff, Dana.
Watch
and
this.
Your hands got blood on them.
Watch this. Shit. Oh, my hands don't got blood on it yet.
Yes, your hands got that carrot blood, just that whole bucket of pig blood splattered all over your hand.
Yeah, I know.
Your hand, Yo, John Hancock had a lot to do with that, with Debowski.
My John Hancock, huh?
Yeah.
So you know that's slander, right?
That's what?
And you know that's called slander, right?
Go sue me.
For what?
I don't know. You said it's called slander.
I'm just letting you know.
If it's not true, prove it.
I done proved it all the time. Watch this.
How? Dana,
watch
you
this.
said yourself you did it.
Watch this. Hold on.
Oh Lord.
Watch this.
Man,
no.
We
everybody that I just sent that to, call in and tell me, am I lying? Just say, yes, Dana, you lying, or no, Dana, you not. We ain't gonna tell them everything we got. Just call in.
That the people put it in the paperwork that they got
No, just call in.
The Boski call.
And just call in and tell me, am I lying or not? But that's all I'm gonna say.
Y'all full of crap.
I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie on nobody.
If this is, you know what, this some straight up BS.
Oh, goddamn. I must be a high commodity tonight. Everybody calling me. Hold on. Are you live on the Dana J Show? How can I help you?
So I see you have, it's Raina Patterson again. So I see Shirley Williams has a statement up there, which boy.
You get snow. See what I mean about your rebels?
Then you know what you did too, Dana? You put Queen, you talk about what Boski did. Boski, that stuff, and Queen never did nothing to you. That girl don't be bothering nobody until somebody say something to her.
Hold on. You're live on the Dana J Show.
Hey Dana, what's up? Hey Dream Team.
What's going on?
Man, I just would like to say that that what you sent me was very interesting. and Miss LaTonya Walker, I think it's best that you walk away now. And that's all I got to say.
I mean, Miss LaTonya, did you hear what somebody just called in and said?
I didn't hear nothing.
Okay, what she said word for word was, it was
so
very.
I'm supposed to take your word. What hold on,
wait, hold on, listen, because here go another person I sent it to. Hold on. You're live on the Dana J Show.
Yes, sir. I just got this photo over here. Miss LaTonya Walker, I advise you, grab your wig, tuck your ass, and get the hell on immediately. Because this shit here, you did. I'll holler at you later.
I'm trying to tell you that.
Dana, I just said, I don't know what you doing, but whenever you click over, connect to them.
Oh, they can't hear you?
No, I couldn't hear anything.
Listen, here's the thing. And I'm going to go here. I have everything that could get the Boski put away for 30 years right now.
Okay, so I'm going to go with, and Boski did not do that.
Okay, listen.
But
listen. When you go back, listen.
I'm going to say again, as a black man, how can you sit on this phone and think that that's funny?
And because he's not my friend, and I don't give a fuck about him. And on top of that, y'all trying to use Jasmine as a tool, and it's funny because
who is y'all?
Listen,
who is y'all?
Y'all trying to use Jasmine as a tool to try to come against me, and like I said, Jasmine just texted me.
So I done talked to Jasmine. I ain't even seen that little girl in the chat or nothing.
And she's not a little girl.
I mean,
She's a grown woman. And she's not a bitch.
She not a what?
And she's not a bitch, and she's not a little girl.
I ain't called a girl to be one. What you say?
Ray Patterson, stop calling me.
I did not call that and call her no B.
Okay, listen, well, I apologize because I thought that's what I heard. I'm sorry. I'm man enough to tell you that I apologize if that's not what you said. But y'all trying to use her as a pawn to lie and to fit y'all narrative. She just texted me.
She just texted you? Well, what you worried about it for?
Out the blue.
Okay, if you say that's what we doing, let's go with you. That's what you say, that's what we doing. If that's what we doing, and she just not texting you, guess what? When y'all get to court, trial, whatever
we ain't going to court.
Guess what? All you gotta do is show them text messages with her phone number, okay?
We not going to court.
Huh?
We not going to court.
Well, then don't worry about it then.
I'm not. Y'all the ones that worry about it.
I'm worried about what, Dana?
Hold on. Prima.
What up?
What's going on?
You still alive?
Yeah, you know it.
Oh, you got your picture, dog. All I can say is woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo.
There's no way out of that.
Buckle up, motherfuckers.
Right. And then it's like everybody talking about, oh, Dana, you wrong. Dana, you wrong. No, I ain't wrong. I told niggas, when you tried to stab me in the back, you only getting me started.
Yeah.
I have not begun. And see, here's the crazy part. Them folks that got Debo messed up, that's him. I don't operate in sloppy fashion.
Right.
So if I do it, if I decide to say, you know what? I'm going to go turn over my phone. I'm going to go turn over my files. He won't see the light of day.
I'm just tripping off the nerve of these people trying to reverse it. Like, if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't have did this. Man, it's a grown-ass motherfucking man.
Facts.
He ain't got to be on the internet doing all that ignorant shit. And the fact that this is all I'm trying to tell y'all, and y'all act like y'all don't see him attacking me because I'm trying to give y'all the common sense. Man, fuck y'all. Ain't nobody got no sympathy for him.
I don't know why they think that I'm supposed to have like a pity party. Like, oh, Toboski. Nah, I don't give a fuck about this nigga. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want him locked up because I want to put hands on him. That's my honest to God opinion. That's my facts. That's my truth. And it's going to happen. But since they took that route, I'm going to sit back and watch how it play out. And I said it over and over again. What they don't do, I'm going to clean it up.
100.
I don't got to get on here every day. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Man, that shit for the birds. I did that already.
Right.
I did that already. So why I keep doing it? Just put facts out there and keep going. And like I said, since they want to attack me, I'm going to attack the core. I know where the bones lie. And the problem is, I was on the call when they sent Daboski out on a dummy mission. I'm the one that said, y'all wrong as shit for this shit. And then Levi came back and said, nah, yo, I ain't with that. That's why I say, I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Because, see, I will bust this whole shit open. And everybody be crying. And I sit back and be like, I done tried to give y'all nuggets. But now, I don't want to give y'all nuggets no more. I'm going to give y'all full-face pie.
Right.
So it's like, when the people like LaTonya Walker jump up there like, oh my God, you doing this to another black man. What have that black man did to herself?
Right. Well, what was that energy when my black man, my grandfather was being put on memes and shit? What was that energy?
They was laughing about it.
I missed that.
They was laughing about it.
Right. I don't want to hear this shit.
And because they was laughing about it, no, I'm going to go here. I'm going to take it a step further. Because you cool with me, it don't matter.
Right.
Now, if you wasn't cool with me, it'll be outrage every motherfucking will. But because you cool with me, it don't matter.
Right.
That's why I stood up and said what I said. He can put people, a grandfather and everything, and matter of fact, and kids and everything on dildos and say F them and all this shit, right? And them same women be over there laughing. But
he can dox information, post address. She over here talking about, oh, they posting his address. Okay, he posting what he think is my address. He posting all kind of other shit. Like, it don't matter when he does it. But you think somebody gonna give a flying fuck because he put himself in this position? The fuck?
Listen, Anybody that get on the internet and threaten the AUSAs is fucking wild.
Just dumb.
I don't watch Daboski go through 3 levels in this case. I don't watch them go from, oh, I'm innocent, to, oh, I'm trying to get an insanity call, to now I want a speedy trial. And each time he didn't listen to his lawyer, his public defender. Each time. They told him, don't get on the internet. He's still on the internet. You think they not monitoring you?
Right.
That's why the judge said, look, I don't feel comfortable with making that call. I was on the call. Matter of fact, I got all the notes. All the notes. All the goddamn notes from that call. Front and back. I was on the call. And even I had a touch of humanity. And I said, you know what? I'm not liking certain shit. When he threw himself under the bus and fucked himself, I'm saying, no, I want a speed trial now. The judge said, sir, do you understand what you're doing? I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Whoa. So now you forcing their hand to really smash you. And I'm going to say this. If they call me to be a witness, I'm going to be the first one to be a witness. You think I'm not? This is what happens when you try to backstab people that really was genuinely your friend. If they call anybody that broke away from you, you don't think they're going to be the first ones up there testifying against you? Bro, you got to understand what the fuck is going on. And what he tried to do is he tried to shake down the king. Now the king got to show him that you ain't on my level. You're a peasant.
It's just crazy to me that they'll 1 minute say that you sending information in, you're a liar, your receipts aren't valid, but you're the reason why he in this situation is blood on your hands. How does that make sense if you're lying, if you didn't do all this stuff?
Well, if blood is on my hands, then guess what? I'm going to wash that shit before I go to bed, and I'm going to lay in my California king-size bed, and I'm just going to sleep like a baby. Then I'm going to get up and go to work in the morning, and I probably call you about a cake, and then we just going to laugh about some shit. We're going to continue talking about having a cook-off.
You know, because the way I see it, it seems like it's blood on a whole lot of people's hands. And it's funny, they just tried to redirect it all in one direction and made themselves look like a fucking fool.
Right, and they trying to cover their hands, but not knowing that blood leaves a trail.
Yeah.
And it also stains whatever it touches.
And what's crazy is, you know, when I first read the indictment and I made my first video, even though I obviously wasn't going to cover it, I didn't believe that the 30 rounds meant ammunition, but I stand corrected.
And you know what? That's all I say.
This what get me. A lot of these motherfuckers, they don't understand gang culture, so a lot of the shit that Debo actually said went over their fucking head.
But see, if you ain't in gang culture, if you don't know about gang culture, and you gonna run with, he ain't mean that.
Yeah.
I can easily say,
run with that. Keep running with that shit.
Right. I can easily say, yeah, nigga, you ain't even getting past here 30 rounds. Everybody know what the fuck that mean. That hang with me, everybody know what that mean. But then for the people that don't know what it meant, I can be like, nah, man, I'm talking about 30 rounds of stamina, 30 rounds of ammunition. It don't make sense.
Right.
He forever tried to attach himself to who? He attaches himself to a gang, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You attach yourself to a gang and you try to use gang mentality and you try to use gang talk. But then when you get caught up in your shit, now all of a sudden you're a civilian. And you can't have it both ways.
Right.
And you can't have it both ways. But it's either you gang in or gang out.
Right.
You never hear me sit up here and talk about BGF. Never. Because I'm not active. I could be, but I'm not active. So you'll never hear me talk about that shit, man. Listen, I'm trying to uplift people. That's my goal. I'm trying to uplift people. But I understand in this fight for Robert, I'm going to have some adversity. And I'm going to have some women that's not going to like it. I'm going to have all of that. Hold on, LaTanya. Hold on. I'm going to have some of that. I'm going to have all that. But the problem is, when I handle it, I'm wrong. When I don't handle it, I'm wrong. So damn if I do, damn if I don't. I came in this joint and I said, I'm standing for Robert. I don't care who I gotta go through.
Right. And you know, like I know, you can't ignore these people. You can sit here and ignore them. It won't be nothing said. The minute you just finally respond, oh, that just make everybody get excited. And it's funny that these people get over here with amnesia talking about, oh, you started with everybody. No, everybody wanted to start making Dana J content, which if you go back to my videos, which is a great reference point for the person that stayed focused, obviously I'm giving you insight to the fact that all this content being made about Dana J is overshadowing the message. So regardless of how you felt about Dana J, that was my whole point. Yet these stupid ass motherfucking people just want to keep coming with the bullshit, going in other people's chat, which is what you pointed out earlier in your live, somebody mentioning you, then you invite them over to talk about it, but they can't even talk with common sense. Facts. Then they want to sugarcoat the facts, but ain't nobody over here got time for that shit, and I just had to jump on her real quick. I'm going to jump back in the chat because I'm trying to multitask, but
you must be making something. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm back in the chat though.
All right. So I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, man, like, people know the truth. And I ain't gonna sit back and go back and forth. Only thing I say is, before you lie on me, know the facts. If I'm going at somebody, it's because they came after me. And 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna give you the blueprint of what I did. I contacted them behind the scenes first. Then I brought it public. Then, depending on how it went public and behind the scenes, is how my third step, which is my reaction. And that's what people don't understand. So at the end of the day, people can say what they want. But I don't know why this lady keep calling me. She couldn't hold a conversation, then don't call me. You know what I mean? Ray Patterson, you couldn't hold a conversation with me, so don't call. I'm not with the screaming. I'm not with the cussing. I'm not with the hollering. I'm not with none of that. If you can't talk like a human being, then don't talk. Because I ain't going to overtalk you, because I want people to hear what you're saying. And on top of that, over-talking somebody is a sign of guilt. Now, LaTanya Walker broke it down talking about Queen Christie. Now, it's crazy. Now, see, you call me one more time, I'm going to block you. Now, the crazy thing is, if Queen Christie ain't never do what she did, then I wouldn't have never did what I did. And when y'all went after my son, that's a whole nother level. My son ain't on the internet. Y'all went after my son. Queen Christie better be glad I didn't come after nobody in her family, because I could have returned that favor. But no, I returned the favor from what Debo sent me. Yes, Latonya.
Now, Dana J. Now, you just had that prostitute come on here and talk about people.
Now, wait a minute. Whoa, wait, Nope. We ain't doing that. Because if you don't want nobody talking about Ray Patterson, you ain't gonna talk about Prima. No, hell no. And she ain't a prostitute. She's a well-known business manager. Now, see, and you about to make me start going there. Stop, Latonya. Don't do that. We ain't gonna do that. No, sir. So, like I was saying, y'all heard Don talk about everything he had, right? Who got the Sony portals? Who got the signatures? Who got this? Who got that? Now, Don goes a little deeper on Bedbug's channel, and it go like this. I said play.
He was not anybody close to Rob, like he was a fucking groupie. And that's the only space that he carried. Period. I mean, so for everybody to keep believing this dude, it's like, look at what his title is. He's an actor. It says the actor, so he's damn good at convincing people that what he's saying is real. But it's bullshit. It's straight bullshit. And he's doing everything in his power to disrupt the people that are working to get their man free. So if Chaos Nation is coming out, it's coming out. And unfortunately, we can't rely on the United States because the goofy motherfuckers like him exist. So we put it all overseas first to get momentum and to raise money so that it can go towards his defense. Period.
But wait. But if you would leave it up, but if you would leave it up to him, he's doing the R. Kelly Defense Fund. Should he have a defense? What we got to raise money for?
Hey, listen, he's got it, but Rob ain't got it. And I see that nigga buying new cars and moving in houses and all that shit and get better backdrops, and they got a whole other TV show now, whatever you call it. But everybody else that's getting modest income ain't blowing like he is with that shit. Ain't nobody paying that motherfucker. He got about 3,000 followers. How did he go from doing shit on his cell phone to having a whole podcast set up?
Right.
How did he do that?
Right. And then he go say everything he got it from the firm. Boy, the firm wasn't even out long enough, nigga. You been scamming since last year. The fuck you talking?
Exactly. He been scamming motherfuckers since the beginning. That's how he got them girls out of their money that he brought down to the meat rob. He was bringing people in the meat rob and charging them with $700 from the pop. Then we get you up on the rob. He been using Rob for the fucking longest. All this shit about somebody. I'm putting Rob's music on. I'm making that public. I'm telling you this right now. I'm putting his music, his videos for pay. People, we need for profit. We need money for them to go towards the real defense. We have to charge them with $700 from longer. All this shit about somebody. I'm putting Rob's music on. I'm making that public. I'm telling you this right now. I'm putting his music, his videos for pay. People, we need for profit. We need money for them to go towards the real defense. We have 3 different high and powerful law firms that are ready to take Rob's case. We know what they're going to cost, and we have to raise money from them. The platform that I'm putting them out on, it will show how much money is coming in, and it will show the money being donated to this firm to represent his case. And it has to be done a strategic way so that.
And this whole thing that they doing is trying to get Bonjean off the case. Now, picture all these people supposed to be R. Kelly supporters, right? I'm gonna play it again.
Right.
How they do that?
Right. And then he go say everything he got it from the firm. Boy, the firm wasn't even out long enough, nigga. You been scamming since last year. The fuck you talking?
Exactly. He been scamming motherfuckers since the beginning. That's how he got them girls out of their money that he brought down to the meat rob. He was bringing people in the meat rob and charging them with $700 from the pop. Then we get you up on the rob.
He been using Rob for fucking longer. All this shit about somebody. I'm putting Rob's music out. I'm making that public. I'm telling you this right now. I'm putting his music, his videos for paying. People, we need for profit. We need money for them to go towards the real defense. We have 3 different high and powerful law firms that are ready to take Rob's case. We know what they're going to cost, and we have to raise money for them. The platform that I'm putting them out on, it will show how much money is coming in, and it will show the money being donated to this firm to represent his case. And it has to be done a strategic way so that the people can't come in and have liens against him and take the money. Period. Because there are a lot of liens against him. And that's why by him being a warning state, if he gets convicted, they're going to come after all of his shit. So this goofy ass motherfucker for clubbing music, it's hard.
Oh. LaTanya Walker, didn't you say that Don Russell was the muscle too? Wait a minute, it gets better. When everybody was asking for Rob's stuff to come back, right? It gets better. Don Russell said, why? So your commander-in-chief, Angelo Asclari, and his den of thieves can steal them? The same way he looted RSK's Trump apartment. Held to the nah. Tell this inner circle that you are referring to file a complaint with Chicago Police Department, CPD. Because this, hold on, I want y'all to see this. Because this alleged theft did take place in Chicago. And because of the participants, the report will surely make its way to a detective's desk. As a formality, the detective assigned to investigate the alleged theft you are referring to will definitely pay RSK a visit at the MCC to substantiate the allegation described above in your video. If he corroborate, pay attention, if he corroborate your defamation of my character, then and only then will shit get real. On another note, I see whenever you low-life bums, the Clarionites, want to get your YouTube numbers up, you create false narratives. And as long as you tie my name to it, you get the attention you desperately desire. Pathetic. Shaking my fucking head and laughing my ass off at the same damn time. Keep it up. I'll cash in on it later. Pay attention to what he's saying. I'll cash in on it later. Until then, may your numbers continue to soar at the expense of others. Note, securing RSK's fans early on by posing as one of his supporters was a good move in your effort to control the narratives. But it is not checkmate. Ain't that what he sent his people out to do? But pay attention. He said, if Rob corroborate your defamation of my character, then and only then will shit get real. So hold on. It gets deeper. Shout out to Choke No Joke. This is his content. Check this out.
Into it. But please, anybody, if you know Minister Louis Farrakhan, tell him we need this. We need him now. Not yesterday. Tell Farrakhan, don't meet me there. Beat me there. Please, Farrakhan, please, brother, please. Don, what up?
What's happening, my man?
Yeah, I'm sure you heard about Young Dolph by now, too.
Yeah, sad thing.
These kids, man,
sad
they make to go back to the hood to die there. And then when you don't go back to the hood, niggas call you a sellout.
Yeah, I think I preached on that a little bit yesterday, man. It's sad that they don't have to do nothing to us no more. We're doing it to ourselves, brother, young cats, he's out here got this talent. They're working for a machine that doesn't care about, about them, period. 'Cause they're pushing lyrics and an agenda that perpetuates what's happening between these young cats. I've been deeply in the industry, and that's one of the reasons why I got out of it, because when it went from hip hop to gangster rap, and then from gangster rap to trap rap, and then all these young cats pushing, talking about drugs and baby mamas and all that stuff, and I saw that actually being reenacted whenever I would go home. I was like, I'm part of the problem too. So to see it now at this level where it's advantageous for a label. The label makes so much money when these artists pass away.
Can't hear you.
To
there you go.
To push these records out, because they hell, they fans show up in boatloads to support them. Can't hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So but they've done such a great job at turning us against each other, man. Well, we used to be proud when somebody made it out the hood or graduated from college or got the record deal. Now it's frowned upon. And that's the thing about it that's really mind-boggling. It's like it was almost better when we had less. When we was just amongst ourselves, when we supported our communities, before segregation and all that stuff and open housing, it was better because we all looked out for each other. Now it's just, man, like the Willie Lynch letter has come to life right in front of us, and we're watching it, every day. I mean, just that panel yesterday was bad because it is black man against black man, and nobody pointing to what the white man or the other man is doing to us. We just talking about shit that we going through amongst each other. Nobody talking about the big labels who just stole our culture. You know what I mean? And like from Michael, from Prince, all that, they still, that's all they got. They steal all of our culture. You know what I mean? And because they can put us on and put a chain around our neck, you know what I'm saying? We're forgetting, we're making them like they ain't did nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? But the videos that they push, because they could easily change the music. They could change what they put out. But I just remember being over there and in the industry, and artists, the lifestyle that we searching for, everything, so the families being separated.
Conspiracy theory, I'm gonna call it, or alleged theory on how this goes. Long story, I'm gonna give a long story short. Cheryl Mack gets cut, and now I know that she knew the Savages even before Joycelyn even met Rob. You know what I'm saying? Because she flew them in for the show and the audition and all that, this, that, and other. But from how I see, allegedly Cheryl Mack gets upset with Rob. She wanted to do this TV show. She reaches out to Tamara to help her. Tamara she's still in the fold with Rob. She casts a whole bunch of women, or reaches out to a whole bunch of women that used to allegedly deal with Rob, whatever. Cass Jones got this book, Sex Me, Daddy's Little Freak, or whatever. A fictional story that she wrote about some girls supposed to be messing with Rob, this, having eventually she meets Rob in real life. She tells him about this book. She tells him it's fictional. Them building Cheryl Mack allegedly trying to get this TV show deal going with about R. Kelly. It starts transpiring. She get in touch with the Savages, or Asante gets in the house, or somehow she get kicked out the house. According to her, she was dating Rob. From a lot of people I hear, she wasn't. But she get kicked out the house. So she says that she reached out to the family of the girls. And then all this eventually transpires into surviving R. Kelly. Surviving R. Kelly gets all this attention. Somebody from Homeland Security supposed to have seen this, and they go and get him indicted, blah, blah, blah. And he goes to trial, boom, 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 he blows, and we here. In a nutshell. I know there's a whole lot of pieces to it, but how does that sound to you?
Yeah, in a nutshell, that is, so if you're looking at a puzzle, that piece is there. It's definitely there in the puzzle. I think there was, and because you know, because you have the lack of seeing it with your own eyes, it's kind of hard to go off of hearsay. So what I can say is, in a nutshell, that works. There were probably some things that I heard that were a little bit differently about the involvement of the Savages, the Clarys, and how the FBI, I mean Homeland Security, got involved, which was a close tie to one of the Savages and Cheryl Mack. Those are initially the culprits that I heard were responsible. I heard that Angelo sort of got drug into it. I do believe that, because initially I was talking to Angelo Clary and I was talking to Tim Savage in the very beginning, because one of the things that that I felt was important to do was get everybody at the table so we can mediate this thing. Let's sit down, let's work this thing out so we can get the girls back home, at least get the families involved in their lives in some capacity. And we were planning on doing it around the holidays, and it just always turned into a fucking production. There had to be some music being made, an album going to be put out, and I'm like, listen, fuck all that. Let's just get everybody back together again, and then we can work on that shit, And the only person that seemed to have any kind of conversation, decent conversation with initially, was Angelo Clary. Now, most of it was probably him probing the shit out of me, but I was doing the same thing to him. So, but for the most part, it seemed like it could be handled amicably. I mean, it seemed like that. But when you mix money in and outside influence, which, it was a lot of shit fueling that, that's what turned it into, I think, where we are today. That's part of which turned it into where we are today, as far as
Wait,
the
let
women.
me ask you a question, since you're right there at that point. When you say that, you was trying to get everybody together, wasn't it they already dealing with their daughters already? It wasn't
No,
like
this is Christmas 2018, and the goal was to get everybody. We're gonna do a party at the hotel, bring everybody up, the families that is, and then just do this whole. We would. I pitched the whole idea to Rob. I said, listen, it ain't a bad idea for you to go and just get a couple songs and something done on the girls, and that way we can say that's what the silence was about. Nobody, the songs. He was in the studio in the lab.
But why do he need to do that when these girls are emancipated? In 2018, they're not held captive. They're not underage. They making decisions of their own not to go home. So why appease the parents because they harassing Rob?
I get that, but I was trying to be the person that was understanding of both sides. In both instances, the whole thing of this starting over them trying to get some music done. The whole N-word to Rob was them trying to get Rob to produce their babies, however they had to position out to do it. So it was like I'm hearing what they saying, and I'm understanding he ain't buying none of that bullshit. They don't want to sing. I'm hearing this from the girls and all that shit. So it's like, fuck, Rob, why don't you just make a couple songs before they ever come out? Just make the songs just to have them. I mean, and that'll silence the parents, let the mother and father. If they feel like they can take them and make $1 million off of 2 songs on Azriel, give them to them. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? But that's just not the route that they want to take.
Who gives a fuck? He shouldn't give a fuck that they want songs on these daughters. At 2018, they already been with him 2 years, probably 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess, yeah.
If they are content with their relationship with him and it ain't even about business, and the parents is harassing him, put out music with my daughters, that's a financial thing that the daughters ain't even worried about.
Right, exactly.
Once again, that's harassment, and I can understand being a man and say, yo, man, just do whatever the fuck it is to get these motherfuckers out your head because they're harassing you. But technically, legally, he don't owe them shit to do no music with them.
You're absolutely right. But one thing, and that's what I remind you. I had just came in, and that was the smallest thing that we had to deal with. Like, Rob, shut these motherfuckers up. Either send the girls home or get them motherfuckers some music. Do whatever. Let's just get this shit over with because we got to push the fly.
You know what that's called?
What's that?
Extortion.
What's that?
Them forcing him to work with their daughters.
No, it wasn't forced. It wasn't forced. It's a negotiation. It was a negotiation.
Why do I have to negotiate with you or my daughter who's an adult?
You don't.
Right? To do music, and I'm not even my daughter's manager. My daughter's not even signed to my record label. I don't have a record label on my daughter. I'm not my daughter's management. My daughter is underage. She's 2018. She's emancipated. So if you keep coming to me saying, "Yo, do something on my," your daughter live with me, nigga. She don't live with you.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So why you keep harassing me, coming to my studio, coming to my house, harassing me, just because you want me to make a song with your daughter so you can make money? If I make a song with your daughter, she owns it. You still don't get shit.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that was the girls were still communicating with their parents.
Okay.
See, it wasn't like they had cut them off. That's how all them calls got recorded and all that shit. So it was too much nigga shit going on that I wasn't privy to at first because I'm just getting on board. I didn't understand none of that shit. Like, the girl thing was left field. All I heard was he was broke. He didn't know none of his masters. I didn't know nothing about what the fuck this Clary and Savage thing was until I got inside. And I'm, with Rob, and we headed to St. Louis, and that's his guest. And then, he's telling me, I'm hearing a little shit about what's going on with that. And then I heard about the Lifetime thing. So it wasn't like that was like I came in and dived right into that. That was another thing that was set on the plate outside of the fact we had to get him off the label because there was money owed. There was no gas to fuel anything. He had the fucking landlords that was behind. He had the reality show that Tracy, Babyface's ex-wife, was trying to do on him. Everybody was pulling them things. So initially, things would come into the office. He would give us a stack of shit. I'd take it to my office, and we would work on those things. So the whole girl thing was just like, I don't even want to deal with that shit. Rob, give him the fucking album, do whatever the fuck. He said, "No, I ain't doing that shit because she can't sing, and she don't even want to sing," and that's what Azriel said too. I'm like, okay, well then I don't know what the fuck to do with that. If you're not gonna send their asses home, that's between you and them. I pivoted back over to my lane.
That's my point, Don. This is why you got yourself in some shit because you shouldn't have said shit. And I know you probably a man with a big heart, but like he said, I'm not putting my R. Kelly name on a motherfucker that can't sing. Like, I'm R. Kelly. She can't sing. Motherfucker, she don't want to sing. She want to be my girl. You get what I'm saying? So when you look at it in that aspect, they harassing you because you just came into the fold. You don't know.
No. It wasn't even really that. It was James Mason and all those guys who was giving them my information because when I came in, James took the back seat. Rob forced him to. So it wasn't. I was targeted. I wasn't coming in just getting on the phone. Why would I even reach out to him unless Rob told me to talk to him? I didn't call them motherfuckers. It wasn't me calling his girlfriend's fathers and trying to say, "Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all want to make some shit up?" I was told to handle it. It wasn't a situation or nothing outside of that. So I mean, I wasn't, so that was, that's how that went. It wasn't and how it happened was the motherfucker Angelo was at the studio circling the goddamn cars, and all of the keys came up missing. That's how the thing got kicked off. He was at the studio. I didn't know who the fuck he was. I just saw him and with some guys sitting behind Rob's car and a Ford Explorer with Pennsylvania license plates on them. And it was two white boys. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? I mean, we was headed over to the studio that night. I don't remember what was happening, but we was headed there. And then there was a dude circling the car, and it was a black. And I looked at him. I'm like, that motherfucker looked familiar. Now, I knew him from some pictures and shit, but I didn't know who he was. So that's how we got introduced. When somebody got up in the studio that night, because Rob was doing a little event or something there, stole all of the keys to his trucks. And it would happen to be Angelo Clary and them that orchestrated that shit. So that's how we got initially into talking to each other. It wasn't that, I actually talked to them anything. It was like, okay, Rob, this dude was just outside, and I think it was Azriel's father, and then some motherfuckers out there in a white truck. And Rob had a Jeep that had the, you could peel it off, the top off of it. So we was like, pull that motherfucker up, put it in front of the camera just in case they try to put some shit in it, or whatever be the case. So the whole thing with the Clarys and the Savages, we kind of thrown in there at one moment. It wasn't out front. The only thing that was out front first was he didn't have his music. He didn't own none of his shit. That was the only thing that was up front. The whole and the girls, because I had seen them on multiple occasions. I didn't know who the fuck they were. They his girls. We go play ball. They with them. We go do this. They with them. Whatever. Who gives a shit? That's his girl. I ain't here for that. But when that shit happened with the keys being stolen, that's what forced me to have to deal with the Clarys on that shit. Because I told Rob I just saw the father outside and all of the keys are not missing all of his cars and shit.
Right. Man, I ain't trying to throw them under the bus, but nigga, that shit is extortion. You can't fucking sit here and make me work with your daughter and put out music. Even if I record music with her, what you gonna do with it?
Yeah,
you gonna take it and you gonna take it and go shop it around to a label and get her a deal? Like, what are you gonna do with it? You want money? That's extortion, dog.
Yeah, I mean, well, however they look at that shit, and anybody looks at that, I could, whatever. That is what it is, because that wasn't a focus of anything of mine. But him getting the daughters back, I got thrusted into the shit because of that incident that happened, and I end up talking to Clary and talking to Savage. Savage was always an idiot whenever I talked to him. He was solely about money from beginning to end. And I was relaying that back to Rob. I mean, like Rob, they said they want to do this. They say they'll do the thing on Christmas, whatever. So that was essentially what was going on.
That was you on the phone when you was telling him, talking to him about the holiday shit, like, and he was like, "Man, fuck my daughter." This, like,
yeah, that was me.
That was you was talking to, right?
Yeah, that was me.
And at some point in that conversation, he said he was done with his daughter.
He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go make my millions and shit like that." And I ain't talked to him since that day.
But did you see him recently on TMZ?
No.
Him and his wife is on TMZ saying that they still got to deal with R. Kelly's handlers to speak to their daughter, and the grandfather or grandmother just passed away, and they telling her, "Joycelyn, you need to get in touch with us. Your grandmother died, this, that, and the other." And they're trying to say R. Kelly is stopping her from talking to them, and somebody in the family died.
Well, they've said a lot of stupid spaced out shit. I'm not. That doesn't surprise me that they're saying dumb shit like that. They've always wanted to be the victim and benefit at the expense of somebody else. So that doesn't surprise me. If I'm not mistaken, the grandmother was dying when I was in there. I mean, so this is a line he's been running for a while.
This is the grandfather then.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I knew one of them. Well, my condolences, because I don't wish that from nobody, and that's something to think about. But they've always used whatever they could. I mean, my whole point to him was, dog, come up off this. I mean, you remember what I was saying on that? Cut the bullshit. Just call your daughter and be cool with it. Stop trying to be on all that money shit. That's all I was saying to that man on that phone. Like, chill the fuck out. You coming up trying to get albums and all this shit out the deal, or bullying the dude for money. Just be on some real shit with your daughter. You can fix that shit in your family. That's all I kept telling him. I mean, so, if you play that tape a million times, and then he was like, well, we got this thing with Lifetime. I'm like, well, shit, TMZ will give you some money just for your story. Just calm the fuck down. I'm saying, if you back out of this thing and go to TMZ and say, I'm amicably going to drop out, this whole thing was a hoax, they'll pay you for that story, period. So that was me attempting to get them to fall back. But his foot was too far down on the gas. And Tim don't fall back off shit when his foot is on the gas. So that's that.
Did you hear him on the phone with Cash Jones, where he told her, and they talking about how they let the people from Lifetime know that shit was false, and they still put it out?
I'm the one leaked the tape, because I mean the bottom line was Tamara knew it was fake, and that everybody was lying. And Tim said it himself. And, he said that shit. He said a lot of shit on those tapes. But they spent $4, $5, $6 million, so they can't pull back now. They can't pull back. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah. So what is the purpose of doing the 3? Because in January they're supposed to have another part coming out.
Man, dumb people, they're wicked people, dog. It's like asking, a greedy motherfucker why he want more. It's just like that's a bad question to ask. You got a million answers to that
Hey,
question, right?
more, or I guess all they're gonna talk about is him being convicted and how these people feel, because there's really no more that they could do to him. They got him indicted off this bullshit ass false story. They need to question these women about why they lied. That's what Surviving 3 should be about. Why you came up in this motherfucker and lied.
Lifetime is invested in Rob being where he is because at the end of the day, if he gets out and files a lawsuit against Lifetime for infringing on his trademarks, then that's a hell of a suit because McDonald's can't use Burger King's advertisements and logos for shit in a McDonald's commercial or the profit or in commerce at all. I mean, so bottom line is, they feel like they have him in a position where he's not going to be able to do nothing. He'll be warded to the state. So filing a lawsuit will probably be something that seems unlikely. So that's why they keep pushing the agenda because there are other trials coming up. So they can keep pushing this agenda to maybe some person who doesn't know R. Kelly, but they watch Lifetime, and that may be on his jury someday. You know what I'm saying? That's just the whole thing. They're gonna keep pushing that agenda. So I mean, and the scheme of there's two sides to this thing. There's the prosecution, there's the wrongdoers, and then there's the other side, which is the defense, and there's Rob. So Lifetime has an agenda to bury him because he could bury them. So they're still in the game.
Now, as far as his legal team, can you break down to the people? Because you got people out here that say some of the players on the legal team set him up. Some people feel like some was really trying to help him. Where do you stand on that?
So let's go back to the beginning. When he first got in, this shit started happening. He hires Greenberg. It was another lady that he was supposed to use, but she was I forgot her name. Anyway, Greenberg is now the guy. He walks me in there one day. Don Greenberg is my choice for lawyer to work with him. Greenberg Don has a lot of insight and input on what's going to work with him. Rob left out the studio. It was me, Greenberg, and the white lady that was at the McDonald's with him that day, the blonde hair. We was three in the room, but he gets to talk about some fucking orgy and shit. And right then we fell apart. It was over with. You know what I mean? It was like, dude, fuck you. You full of shit. Don't come at me like that. Let's talk about this case. So, we got off to the wrong foot, and we fell apart totally when he wanted to bond Rob out, but he wanted $100 grand cash. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna give you the surety bond and you're gonna get him out with the surety bond. He's like, well, I can't use that. So I took him and sent them a slip from the Cook County showing that he could be bonded out with surety bond. But the fact of the matter is he couldn't cash in the surety bond. He had to go back to the owner. So that's the issue that he had with taking the surety bond. And he knew at that point he wouldn't be able to pull no shit. You know what I mean? So as far as with me. So many times I called Greenberg, like Greenberg, I got shit that you need to see. He never took my calls, never returned the call. I mean, and at that point it was like, fuck Greenberg, he's not listening to anything I got to say. So that's when I started looking for other counsel. Camille Cosby had reached out to me via Facebook. This is when after Bill had got convicted, and she sent me the information on an Andrew Wyatt and said get in contact with him. Andrew Wyatt was Bill's press secretary, crisis manager. And Andrew had a lot of conversations. He's like, this is a case for Tom Mesereau. So I said, okay, fine. So he called Tom, introduced me to him. I met him in California at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle that my family owns. And I was over loss prevention for him, and I had an office at one of the restaurants. So anyway, we met there. We talked it up. He said he would go fly to Chicago, meet Robbie, flew in. I picked him up at the airport because I was here at the time. Took him over to the MCC, dropped him back off at his hotel. He went home. When I talked to him, he said, Rob said, he can't afford $8 million. So I said, well, why did you tell me you didn't have to worry about that? Because Bill said he would chip in, And he was like, I did tell him that. I'm like, oh, okay. He didn't say Bill said he would chip in. He said, I told him what if money wasn't an option. And he said, Rob looked at him with a stupid face. I'm like, okay. I said, all right, well, cool. So I think he may have talked to Andrew once more, and then that fell apart because everybody was diving in the shit. And one of Andrew's conditions was you got to get rid of everybody. And that's what he said, as well as Andrew White. You got to clean the floors, the windows, and the ceilings. Everybody got to be going. And then clean 3 more times with bleach after that, because we're not coming in managing no bullshit. All the drama, we ain't getting in that. We want a clean slate so we can get in and put this case together. So that never happened, of course, because look at the shit that's still going on today. So after that, Rob went to court, and he was going to court with Greenberg. And one of the things that we had noticed was they had filed for a forfeiture of his assets. When we saw the forfeiture of his assets, it was like, oh shit, they going after his fucking masters, because the masters are in the fucking that they had. They went through the whole warehouse, but they couldn't take the masters at that time. Although they were tapes, they couldn't take them because they didn't have permission from the court to take them. So, and he hadn't been proven guilty, so they couldn't forfeit the assets. But what they could have done was put him in another holding facility. So we was like, listen, that's the only thing we got that we have to negotiate with. So me, Keith, Santee, and my mom sat at my living room table. We worked out a plan. We got to get the masters. We got to move them. And it's best to move them to California because, one, I'm there, so I keep an eye on them. And two, any deal we cut is going to be out in L.A. So we knew we needed money to either pay Mazaron or pay another lawyer. So once I got to L.A., we started working out deals with different people to negotiate. He wanted to bond Rob out, but he wanted $100,000 cash. And I was like, nah. I'm gonna give you the surety bond, and you're gonna get him out with the surety bond. He's like, well, I can't use that. So I took him and sent them a slip from the Cook County showing that he could be bonded out with surety bond. But the fact of the matter is, he couldn't cash in the surety bond. He had to go back to the owner. So that's the issue that he had with the, taking the surety bond. And he knew at that point he wouldn't be able to pull no shit. You know what I mean? So it's like with me. So many times I called Greenberg. Like Greenberg, I got shit that you need to see. Never took my calls, never returned the call. I mean, and at that point, it was like, fuck Greenberg. He's not listening to anything I got to say. So that's when I started looking for other counsel. Camille Cosby had reached out to me via Facebook. This is when after Bill had got convicted. And she sent me the information on an Andrew Wyatt and said, get in contact with him. Andrew Wyatt was Bill's press secretary, crisis manager. And Andrew had a lot of conversations. He's like, this is a case for Tom Mazaron. So I said, okay, fine. So he called Tom, introduced me to him. I met him in California at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle that my family owns. And I was over loss prevention for him, and I had an office at one of the restaurants. So anyway, we met there. We talked it up. He said he would go fly to Chicago, meet Rob. He flew in. I picked him up at the airport because I was here at the time. Took him over to the MCC, dropped him back off at his hotel. He went home. When I talked to him, he said, Rob said, he can't afford $8 million. So I said, well, why did you tell him you didn't have to worry about that? Because Bill said he would chip in, And he was like, I did tell him that. I'm like, oh, okay. He didn't say Bill said he chip. He said, I told him what if money wasn't an option. And he said, Rob looked at him with a stupid face. I'm like, okay. I said, all right, well, cool. So I think he may have talked to Andrew once more, and then that fell apart because everybody was diving in the shit. And one of Andrew's conditions was you got to get rid of everybody. And that's what he said, as well as Andrew White. You got to clean the floors, the windows, and the ceilings. Everybody got to be going. And then clean 3 more times with bleach after that, because we're not coming in managing no bullshit. All the drama, we ain't getting in that. We want a clean slate so we can get in and put this case together. So that never happened, of course, because look at the shit that's still going on today. So after that, Rob went to court, and he was going to court with Greenberg. And one of the things that we had noticed was they had filed for a forfeiture of his assets. When we saw the forfeiture of his assets, it was like, oh shit, they going after his fucking masters, because the masters are in the fucking that they had. They went through the whole warehouse, but they couldn't take the masters at that time. Although they were tapes, they couldn't take them because they didn't have permission from the court to take them. So, and he hadn't been proven guilty, so they couldn't forfeit the assets. But what they could have done was put him in another holding facility. So we was like, listen, that's the only thing we got that we have to negotiate with. So me, Keith, Santee, and my mom sat at my living room table. We worked out a plan. got to get the masters. We got to move them. And it's best to move them to California because one, I'm there, so I can keep an eye on them, and two, any deal we cut gonna be out in LA. So we knew we needed money to either pay Mazaron or pay another lawyer. So once I got to LA, we started working out deals with different people to negotiate buying these masters. We went to one company, then we went to Kerry Gordy, and he started working through this next to help us out too. We found a lawyer, Mike Friedman, from Friedman and Associates, or Friedman Partners, whatever. He had represented Kevin Spacey, and he had represented the Archdiocese, and he had represented Snoop Dogg. So when they had issues, and he wasn't the type of lawyer that would take it to trial because he used to be a federal prosecutor. He said, "You're basically paying me to end the case. If I get it, I'm gonna go in there and do a mediation or arbitration, whatever the hell he was saying, and end the shit. It's not gonna ever make it to trial. I don't take cases to trial." So his price tag was $3 million, but then he said it may take another $2 million and investigate stuff. So be ready to spend $5 million. So that's when we knew that rock hard finite number that we had to secure was $5 million. That was it. We had to secure $5 at minimum. I don't give a fuck nothing else. He covered $5 million had to get covered. So we had Mike Friedman. He started communicating with Rob. He sent his retainer agreement in. Rob signed the retainer agreement. You know what I'm saying? It was simple as that. We all met out in LA, me, Keith, my uncle who owns Roscoe's. It was a network guy there, and Mike Friedman. We sat down, we came up with a game plan, and that was as simple as it should have been. We should have worked that game plan, and we probably would have a different fucking result. So we got Mike Friedman in, Rob signs it. Him and Greenberg are cool because they're good old boys. So Greenberg talking to Mike every day, and he talking to Nicole, and Mike is they all in on Mike, and he's kind of designing everything. But then the money never came up. So we got Mike in there who stayed in there. Huh?
Let me ask you something. Is Greenberg partners with Jennifer Manji?
No. Is he with her?
Are they partners?
No. Hell no. Yeah, no. Gene and Greenberg ain't got nothing to do with each other. That's Bill all the way. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna speculate. I don't know that Bill did anything to influence it, but it only makes sense. You know, he made a nice statement saying he's going to win the appeal, and you don't say something like that unless you know, kind of know something. You know what I mean? So, no, they're not. You know, the fact is that Greenberg is still representing Rob in the Illinois case. So, to some extent, they probably are communicating. I don't know how deeply they're communicating, but they are. So, going down the lawyers, then you have Raed Shalabi. That's the one who came in the meantime, trying to convince Rob to take the case. It was a local guy that one of Rob's associates put Rob in contact with. They didn't know shit. And they were just stirring shit up. They was, I remember, with Persians or something. They just had this fucked up. They was just all over these lawyers. So then the same associate brought in Doug and Nicole. Now, when I'm not saying that my job is to look into any fucking attorneys, but I did start peeking in on these guys and seeing what their background was and shit. Because there is, at this point, I didn't have as much information that I ended up with. So my thought was they're gonna need this intel. I gave it to Raed Shalabi. He started using it like it was shit that he was coming up with. I didn't give a fuck. As long as it got used in the case, I didn't care who came up with the shit. I mean, so, and at that time, it was just the Chicago thing, the local Chicago case that he was dealing with. So my analysis or my comparison to that would have been when this thing escalated to a federal case, it's like you hire a lawyer for a traffic ticket. And then you get in front of the judge and the motherfucker say, well, wait a minute, he left the scene of a crime, he ran over 3 motherfuckers or whatever. This lawyer that I had hired to handle the traffic case shouldn't have been fucking with them other, because now this thing escalated to some real serious shit. Greenberg should have stepped out at that point and said, Rob, I can't fuck with this. I'll help you on the state level, the local case, but all that big shit, I ain't equipped for that. But because he wanted the popularity and all that shit, he stayed on. And then he started working with Nicole and Doug, knowing that none of their asses got along. And we can tell that. I hate to say I told you so, but look at how it ended. They all imploded. Doug's stealing fucking money. Nicole is fucking running around and ain't got a fucking clue, leaking information. You know, she's way ahead. You know, she's like elementary, and now you're up in the Ivy League college. You shouldn't even be trying a case. You're alone in fucking New York, and you from Detroit. I mean, so She was out of her league. And she was the only one that lasted. Remember, she tried to get out of the case too right before it started, which would have left Rob with nothing. Canick was only involved because of his license. They needed somebody with a license to practice in New York, so they used Canick. He was not supposed to argue the case. So without him having any proper planning, he did a fucking good job because he called all them heifers and lies. But he got the case a month before it started, had no time to prepare, and actually he didn't even start arguing the case. Nicole did.
So here's my question. If Canick wasn't supposed to argue the case, right? That goes to show that Canick was brought in by Trent, right? And by Don and them, right? That goes to show Don and Sean had some type of ordeal. Pay attention.
And because she got on the stand and started fucking up, Rob said, sit your ass down and let Buddy handle it from here. That's exactly what happened. We saw that happen because she didn't argue no more after that first day. Canick took the stand from that point on and argued. The first day they walked out of there together, the rest of them days, Canick left with his guys and Nicole and them left with her boys. So we started the separation in the picture, but that's the whole legal thing. You know what I mean? Jean coming in, I think is great. She's experienced in the courtroom. She's exactly the kind of lawyer he should have had in the very fucking beginning. Real simple. So the job that we took on, that we weren't tasked with, which was me, Keith, Santee, and a few people that we brought in, lawyers, was to free up Rob's intellectual property. Free up now we're getting down the road. We're trying to negotiate for the fucking music and the masters, and we finding out shit he don't own none. We really don't own none of his writer shit, which is all we thought he had. We knew the publishing and all the other shit was gone. We thought at least he had enough writer shit. So we finding out now he owns 7% of that shit, and that shit got liens on it. Right. Out of the 50%, and that's when we started going through the portals and shit. Instead, I'm going through all the portals and I'm seeing it's 90-some contracts, and which is an extreme amount of fucking contracts for one artist. But a lot of them was in the folder of promissory notes. And I'm going in this promissory note folder looking at 7 million, 4 million, 8 million, 2 million. I'm like, what the fuck is this about? What? So I send the only person I had at this point was Keith, because Rob was locked up. Keith, is this Rob's signature? I know it's not his signature, but I wanted somebody else to say it wasn't his signature. None of his signatures on shit. All these promissory notes that's totaled over $100 million.
Wait, time out. So if that wasn't Rob's signatures on shit, why do you have the signatures and you sitting up there trying to put forth shit like it is Rob's signature? Make this make sense. Here we go.
And withdrawals that they use to leverage his writer share against, they collateralize his writer share, and then they securitize the contract by the security agreement by signing his signature on it. They got money. So I'm looking at this shit like, what the fuck is this? So I knew of some of the thieving, like let's wind it back some. I was doing the contracts and stuff from the shows where somebody would white out or Photoshop the contract and say, type in all in on there. Oh, no, it was all in, but then they would type in 2 weeks beforehand, he's supposed to get his money, and it's supposed to be 60,000 when actually, I finally got it around to the promoter, it was 90,000. It was supposed to be 2 hours before the show. So niggas was still doing that kind of shit all throughout the whole situation. I mean, so you got to realize Rob don't read no contracts. He trusts somebody else to read them. As long as he checking his bag, I guess he was good enough with that shit. That's stupid as fuck to me. You know what I'm saying? But I've never been at that height, never had that kind of money. So I don't know what would make a man not keep his eye on every dime of it. But that just seemed kind of, I don't know the reason behind that. You know what I mean? Whether somebody do some shit, whatever. There's so many rumors swirling about that shit. I have no fucking clue. But I know when I started reading them shits, and I started calling promoters, and I'm like, yo, promoters were suing him, and I'm like, well, shit, he was supposed to got his deposit 2 weeks before the show. He never got it. They're like, 2 weeks? Fuck no, that's 2 hours. I said, the contract I'm looking at says 2 weeks. Prove me otherwise. Then they would send me the contract that they had, and it said 2 hours. I mean, so all that shit was taking place like all over the motherfucking place. So you got niggas stealing from the concerts. You got this whole situation now that Brood opened up the fucking writer shares and the publishing. and all this shit. And then I'm authenticating shit over here, trying to get it authenticated. And then, of course, the situation that they done created this toxic fucking environment from the very beginning with Rob and the label. So the label don't want to have no communication with Rob, although they're handling his business because Tracy Sampson shit. When he went over to the label, goofy ass fucked on Tracy, which was stupid. That's my nigga, but he got his ass.
So now Rob goofy. So now Rob, see what I'm saying? Pay attention.
Keep his eye on the dime of it. But that just seemed kind of, you know, I don't know the reason behind that. You know what I mean? Whether somebody do some shit, whatever. There's so many rumors swirling about that shit. I have no fucking clue. But I know when I started reading them shits and I started calling promoters and I'm like, yo, here, you know, promoters were suing him. And I'm like, well, shit, he's supposed to got his deposit 2 weeks before the show. He never got it. They're like, 2 weeks? Fuck no, that's 2 hours. I said, the contract I'm looking at says 2 weeks. Prove me otherwise. Then they would send me the contract that they had. And it said 2 hours. I mean, so all that shit was taking place like all over the motherfucking place. So you got niggas stealing from the concerts. You got this whole situation now that then Brood opened up the fucking right shares and the publishing and all this shit. And then I'm authenticating shit over here, trying to get it authenticated. And then, of course, the situation that they done created this toxic fucking environment from the very beginning with Rob and the label. So the label don't want to have no communication with Rob, although they're handling his business because Tracy Sampson shit. When he went over to the label, goofy ass fucked on Tracy, which was stupid. That's my nigga, but he got his ass problem. We know that. He fucked us, so now the label don't want to talk to him no more. They're not giving him information, which is what Wayne Williams used to do. Wayne used to tell the information directly to Rob. Rob, you know they stealing from me. And Rob wouldn't do the right thing with that information and then turned into problems. So when you look at the situation, how this shit went down, it was a toxic environment created, which is when
you went through all those contracts and all the stuff and his signature was forged, did you find out who was behind all that?
Yeah, we found out a lot of people behind it. That was what's his name? Barry Hankerson, his son Jomo Hankerson, Daryl McDavid, Cheryl Mack, Artie Pabone, Linda Mintz, what's the other? Joan Sullivan. These are all the names that were stealing money from Robin for various ventures and shit like that. There's more of them. So Rock and say those names. Those people walking around, living, walking, breathing today. They all got money. If I'm lying, you know what I'm saying? They can put charges on me right the fuck now. But that paperwork don't lie. And that shit's in the Sony portal right the fuck now. So come at me if you want with lawsuits. I have proof to show that y'all did this shit. So I mean, you know, and that's me putting myself out there saying these powerful Barry got bread. So the fuckers Artie Pabone, all the motherfuckers do. But they were stealing that man's money. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Wrong is wrong. Period.
Now, speaking of charges, you got a charge, right? From this whole incident. 2 charges. I want you to talk about your charges, but before you talk about your charges, I just see that the dude Michael Williams got sentenced to, I believe, 8 years today, right?
Damn.
Right, and then let me put this on the screen, and I'm gonna show you how effed up this is, because I spoke to the girl Cass Jones, right? And she told me that you didn't have nothing to do with dude burning the car up. That was all because of Angelo. She got in the beef with Angelo or something.
If Don ain't had nothing to do with that, why would Don say, oh, wow? These are things that people got to understand. Pay attention to his demeanor.
Or some, and dude took it upon himself to do that. She ain't even tell him to do that. But he was just trying to defend her and shit, right? So me knowing that coming from her, and this is her cousin, I believe, allegedly, that did this, right? Look how they posting the story out here, right? Look at this shit. This is fucked up. Justin, a Georgia man once connected to R. Kelly's entourage, has been sentenced to 8 years in federal prison for torching a vehicle belonging to one of the disgraced singer's high-profile accusers in an attempt to silence her. Story coming. What the fuck? That's crazy.
That is. That is.
Yo, they putting this on R. Kelly. He ain't got shit to do with it. He did that dude ain't
Nothing
even
at
a
all.
part of the entourage.
Rob don't even know this guy. Don't even know him.
That's fucked. You see,
Rob don't know him, but you do, Don.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, that's their tactic. Because if you read my indictment, and I read it probably for the first time about a couple of weeks back. Fired my attorney because he never once asked me who I was, and then I do it. And he just basically told me I was going to do a year in jail. Now I've got a lot of business, and all I say that I do regularly. A lot of things happen because of me, and I'm in a position where I'm growing things in my business. Got shareholders, got kids, got family, and you're gonna tell me I'm doing a year for what? I didn't do nothing. But then I read the damn indictment. I was like, what the fuck they talking to out of this indictment? And we got all this stuff talking about, first of all, the whole thing was talking about Rod. My indictment is 6 pages. I think 4.5 pages of it was talking about R. Kelly and all the shit that they say he did. And this, that, and other. And then they go to talking about his enterprise. And they talk about employee number 1, employee number 2, employee number 3. And I'm like, okay, so what the fuck does any of this have to do with me? Because all this shit happened 3 years before I even came around him. Like, what the fuck does this have to do with me? Then at the end of it, they swag way into the little letter that I sent out there to Lydia, which was the lawyer of one of the accusers. I sent the letter out there to them, and that's essentially the fucking charge that I got, because she sent the lawyer sent who's now doing time. She's doing 17 months time for being a crooked ass lawyer. She sent an extortion letter to get money up out of Rob, who was my client at the time, and we were asked to deal with that. And
But I thought you was never Rob's manager. So how is he your client?
Presented wanted out of it anyway. They wanted out of it. So we sent the letter back explaining this is why you should drop the case. That's the one that I pranced around with. I didn't write it, a lawyer wrote it. And Rob signed it, meaning that he was okay with what was in it. Sent it out there. That's essentially the stalking charge. So I'm reading this indictment like, what the fuck? You got 5 pages of shit that ain't got nothing to do with me. It's a paragraph. So they're trying to paint this picture that I was the one that led all these employees, they did all this shit from 2012 to 2010 to 20, whatever it was. I didn't come into 2018. So why am I even being mentioned in the same sentence with all that shit when I wasn't even around when all that shit happened? It don't even make no sense. But that's example of it right there. And what I was told was that, listen,
why they doing that to you, because you got in front of the camera and said, "Oh, I'm his advisor, I'm his consultant," and you know how when they go with a Fed case, say if niggas was selling drugs, say
no, Choke, they doing it to him because they got his blueprint of what the fuck he done did.
R. Kelly, them niggas was selling drugs, and then at the tail end of it, you come down and they catch you on the phone or wiretap. Say, yeah, I'll fuck with them niggas. I'll roll with them niggas. Bam! That just put you right in they shit. It's that simple.
So it's 2 parts to that. Let me explain them both, because this has come up a lot. So one, I had already been thrown in the mix long before that by the Claries and the Savages, as Tasha K stated that in the interview that she did. The reason she went after me so bad because she had got all these reports from this manipulated information that the Savages and the Claries gave her, saying that I was this big gangster and all this shit. So that's the same thing they went to the Homeland Security with. It had nothing to do with me doing that interview. Now, let's explain the interview. So for all those who don't understand why I did the interview, that was the day he got released. I was behind this car, and let's explain the famous Edie moment. He went to the truck with Rob. When Rob got out, I was the car right behind him, and right in front of that was the Sprinter. I was in the blue right behind him that was on his heels the whole time we did the O.J. Simpson moment with the cameras on us and shit, and paparazzi following us. Right. So I'm on the phone with Bug the whole time, which is Rob's uncle, and when Edie went up to the car, the reason he didn't get back in my car because Rob the Buzz told me don't let that motherfucker ride with you. That's as simple as that was. So I followed him over to, I think we went to McDonald's. We went to Lake Street and shook the paparazzi. Then we went to McDonald's, he ate. Then we went over to the cigar bar. We get to the cigar bar, it's nothing but paparazzi out there. And I had a guy that I had told me to meet me over there. I said, nigga, get this camera. And I want you to stand out here with these motherfuckers all night and hear everything that they saying so we can know what the fuck they up to. So I had a guy planted in there, listening, giving me a play-by-play on the cell phone, telling me what the fuck they was up to. So one of the things they kept talking about was it was some young women up in there. So let's fast forward inside the place. We in Biggs. We on top floor. People celebrating he got out, all this whole shit. I say, okay. I say, shit. There was two young women over there, and that drink was Macallan. That's what it was. They had a bottle of Macallan. I'm looking, I'm like, man, I've never seen any young black women up in Biggs. Never seen that. So I'm looking like, what the fuck they doing in here? It was weird. So he just telling me they trying to catch pictures of him, with some young girls. So in my mind, I'm like, they trying to set him up. That's what I thought. So I left, went outside, and I started laughing. I said, hey, y'all, joke's on y'all. We snuck him out the back door. He gone. And they like, come on, nah, this bullshit. We know he's in there. I said, he's gone. I'm leaving. Y'all can watch me get in my car and leave. And that's when the question came out. Are you his manager? And just give us something, say something to us. And I went on to say what I had to say. And what I specifically was trying to iterate to them was, one, there's a lot of shit going on. Yeah, there was tapes found. But if y'all specifically remember, if you recall, what I said was, well, back in those days, he was advised to take all of his sexual encounters because that's when Mike Tyson had just got his cases and all that other shit. And people remember that if he could only prove what was in the room, he would have been okay. So that's exactly what I said in that interview. I'm like, him recording his sex sessions was to prove what happened in the room. And the next question that they asked, they didn't edit this right. They cut that shit off, and I was like, well, shit, it was a lot of them. He has a lot of fucking sex. And essentially, more than me and you probably would. So that's why I was like, well, he probably does need to see a shrink, goddammit. He don't need to be going to no fucking jail. For a lot of people that have a lot of sex, he just has a lot more than that person. And that's as simple as that was. That was the intention right there. But I wasn't walking out there expecting to be interviewed. I gave them something so they would be satisfied enough, see me get in my car and leave. That was it. I didn't go there to have no press moment or none of that kind of shit. So that's exactly, but it was one of those things when you caught up in there, you got 1,000 fucking cameras surrounding you, and either they're gonna stand there and wait all night, or they're gonna see this nigga who the only motherfucker Rob rocking with. When he leave, obviously Rob got to be gone because he leaving, and that's what happened. When I left, they all took off. That's what happened. Nothing else got reported outside of Biggs that night when he left.
Why do you feel he have a sex problem?
That's what they built them for. First of all, let's address the obvious. I'm sick of all these motherfuckers saying I ain't his friend, I ain't looking out for, because I'm pointing out the obvious. And I did this shit to Rob. I went to Rob and said, bro, you need to, we had found this motherfucking hypnosis, lady who did hypnotism. She was the best in the country. And, when I didn't know before I got into this shit that he had been molested as a kid. I didn't know that shit until I read his book. That shocked the shit out of me. And then coming to the realization that it was his sister, like, oh shit. So now I'm thinking when I'm going through all these promissory notes and all this shit's colliding on me, everybody else knew this shit too. So they kept forcing this sex on this nigga, putting him in front. It's like a nigga that do crack. You put crack in front of him. You think he's not gonna do crack? Fuck yeah, he gonna take a line. So I'm peeping this shit and I'm putting it together. Oh, that was the missing element. Okay, they know he got a sex.
Wait. What states that you have a sex problem? Like for me, like when I have sex with a woman, I might try to have sex with her no minimum less than an hour. For me is a quickie. I'm trying to have sex with her for 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? And I might try to do that 3 times in a day. Does that make me a sex junkie? Or do I know how to fucking please women?
Well, I mean, did you have 5 women in the room at the same time?
If I could, I would. I wish I could.
And
I
go from room to room?
I can find 5 women to agree to sleep with me. If any man could, he would. If I could have 2 girlfriends right now, like he had, and they was cool with it, I would.
Okay, so this is the reason that I said that. I don't have that kind of life. 1, 2, not nowhere close to it. You probably be different. But when you start hearing this, hey, listen, a lot of women beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So whoever may think that's true, some women may think I'm a handsome nigga. I don't know. You know, I ain't putting no words in nobody's mouth. But the bottom line is this, man. That's people listen to Rob's music, and I'm a fan of his music. You know, and when you hear about from the women some of the women who don't feel badly about it, that they were young women and they were fans of Rob's, and some of the situations, some of these women had sexual, and this is me having personal conversation with certain people. First encounter, with a celebrity, and then to appease that celebrity, now they thrown in a room with 5 women. You know what I'm saying? And to stay in that room so they can get at him, they got to do them too. I'm saying it was a lot of shit like that happened, and now this woman is grown up and she doesn't have a regular sex appetite where her husband is enough because she's going back to that shit that happened in that room. That was perpetuated by somebody's thirst for sex. So you know what I'm saying. So to me, that is an issue because they're lasting.
And if you're agreeing to do that's not by force. Yo,
I'm not saying. Listen, if I eat myself to death, right, that's a problem. If I sit here and eat myself, I'm fatter than a motherfucking die. That's a problem that I need help with, right? Well, the same thing could apply to sex. Because right now, sex is the reason he in that motherfucker, not great music. Who he chose to have sex with.
No,
right?
He's not in jail because of sex. He's in jail because of money.
No, when they use sex, what a minute. You take the sex away, had he had been fucking little nappy head bitches and had found a nice woman that had some officer, they wouldn't have been able to use that to get him. But because of that problem he had as a kid,
they'd use something else. But the fact that the nigga like to fuck is not a crime.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it is. But listen, it's what they used against him, though.
I'm talking about addiction. Let's stick with addiction. What's too much sex in a day?
You asking me? That's a loaded question, bro. That's a loaded question. Because too much sex for me may be.
If you ask the average woman, how many times would they like to have sex with their significant other a week?
Be careful with that answer.
How many of them go? If you ask them how many days of the week, matter of fact, ladies in the chat, ladies.
Yeah, please go there because I'm not answering that. You ain't getting me in no trouble. Fuck
that. Ladies, out of 7 days, ladies, in the week, if you in a commitment or a relationship or you having sex with somebody that you in love with,
I'm assuming
R. Kelly was dating these girls. Hugh Hefner was selling pussy.
That's true.
And he ain't never get no man.
The warehouse when we took the fucking stuff out of there, and I said, I was lying and saying that I do. I do not. All of his music on eBay. So I don't have shit on eBay. Whoever's lying, all of his music is safe, tucked away, waiting for him to say what he wants to be done with the shit. And until that happens, it's gonna stay safe and tucked away. I have every unfucking released album and all.
Well, Rob said he wanted shit to be returned. You ain't returning back. So you're lying.
The motherfuckers are sitting there in certain places secured and copyright. So all that shit about me putting out his music, I don't want a dime off of none of that shit. If I set up a platform and whatever I spend, I expect to get paid that back. And any fucking percentage for my work, which may be 10 to 20 based on how much I put in. But other than that, that's his shit. And I don't take 20 or 30. Who the fuck did?
I want you to answer this question for the kids that didn't grow up in the era that we grew up in. You said you heard of the Playboy Mansion. How many women was in there? If you could just guess.
I have a story about what went down, and the media needs somebody, but it was where it used to be, and it had the name right on the side of the building. Right. So it was there at one point, but it wasn't acting as the Playboy Mansion when I lived in the building that I did.
Right. Well, my point is this. Hugh Hefner had over 5-10 women.
Right.
And tell them motherfuckers to tell you some of them stories that happened in there. I bet you we are. That's
no, they was at the warehouse when we took the fucking stuff out of there, and I said, you know, I'm gonna just keep two of these as a token every now and then to make it seem balanced, you know. Let me address something that people have been asking and people have been saying. First of all, I don't have any of fucking Rob's
2, 3, 4, 5, some orgies, all kind of shit, right? You tell them motherfuckers to tell you some of them stories that happened in.
Keep it. It was a real expensive fucking watch. I gave it to Carrie, and that was it. Right? Any fucking wear. If I was gonna put shit out,
He's
easy
right.
target.
Yeah, you said it right. I was just making my point.
Okay, well that's it. Okay, you
That
got me to say it for you.
He did it on a grand scale in front of the whole world.
Okay.
And nobody said shit.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Okay.
now, go grab all the girls that lived in the Playboy Mansion.
Right.
And tell them motherfuckers to tell you some of them stories that happened in there. I bet you that shit is way worse than R. Kelly.
I'm sure 20 years from now, maybe 10, 5, we're going to hear the story about what went down. And because media needs something else to talk about now that they took Rob. They'll eventually, they always go after one or two of their own. Look what they did with Harvey Weinstein and Weinstein, you know. So they'll find some reason to go after somebody else. It is. They have to throw in a token every now and then to make it seem balanced, you know. Let me address something that people have been asking and people have been saying. First of all, I don't have any of fucking Rob's music or his memorabilia or his gold records for sale any fucking where. If I was gonna put shit out there, I would put it on my platform, indiebill.com. Why the fuck would I make somebody else some money when I got a platform I can put it out there on my own? I'm not about that shit. I'm about making sure we keep the money within, not giving it to somebody else. So I don't have shit on eBay. Whoever's lying and saying that I do not. All of his music is safe, tucked away, waiting for him to say what he wants to be done with the shit. And until that happens, it's gonna stay safe and tucked away. I have every unfucking released album, and all the motherfuckers are sitting there in certain places, secured and copyrighted. So all that shit about me putting out his music, I don't want a dime off of none of that shit. If I set up a platform and whatever I spend, I expect to get paid that back, and any fucking percentage for my work, which may be 10 to 20 based on how much I put in. But other than that, that's his shit. And I don't take pride in taking nothing from no motherfucking body else. So I don't care what none of y'all saying about that. In that trash right the fuck now. I don't steal people's shit. 46 years in, I'm 46 years old. 30 years in the game. I ain't never been known as a thief until you motherfuckers is coming with this shit now. So cut it out. Stop it. Now let's get on with the show.
Let me ask you, Dabrowski took a picture with his Billboard award. He said you let him take a picture with it. He pulled it out a pillowcase with a bunch of other shit that you had in there.
I know Dabrowski's a lying motherfucker. I had this right here. This award is still sitting in my house to this day, and it's gonna sit here. That's one. That's the other one, and that's a picture of my brother. That's it. That's all I got as far as memorabilia. Rob gave me a watch. I recently gave that to Kerry because Kerry didn't have shit of his own brother, so I gave it to Kerry and said, "Man, this is from your brother. Keep it." It was a real expensive fucking watch. I gave it to Kerry, and that was it. But I ain't got no bag full of shit. I got masters in music. The masters can't fit in no fucking bag. It takes a truck to move them, and the music is on the drive. So I don't know what the fuck else the boss he's talking about. He's lying. But go ahead.
But he had a picture with it. You let him take a picture with it?
I just showed him the pictures right there.
Yeah. Because some people were saying
that. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that I got those.
Buried it in his backyard. That's
no, they was at the warehouse when we took the fucking stuff out of there, and I said, you know, I'm gonna just keep two of these as a keepsake. So what, man? I didn't steal shit. I had permission to be in there. Rob was locked the fuck up. All that shit we were talking about putting it on auction sites to raise money for his defense. So what the fuck is the problem? I mean, you know, nobody's saying that I stole shit but knuckleheads. Keith is the one that was in there with me. Trust me, he got a ton of shit too. So cut all that shit out about somebody stole something. We were tasked to handle certain things after he got fucked up, and that's what we're doing. It's no chance that I got his intellectual property and Keith got
what?
His power of attorney. On my platform, indiebill.com. Why the fuck would I make somebody else some money when I got a platform I can put it out there on my own? I'm not about that shit. I'm about making sure we keep the money within, not giving it to somebody else. So I don't have shit on eBay. Whoever's lying and saying that I do not. All of his is safe, tucked away, waiting for him to say what he wants to be done with the shit. And until that happens, it's gonna stay safe and tucked away. I have every unfucking released album, and all the motherfuckers are sitting there in certain places, secured and copyright. So all that shit about me putting out his music, I don't want a dime off of none of that shit. If I set up a platform and whatever I spend, I expect to get paid that back, and any fucking percentage for my work, which may be 10 to 20 based on how much I put in. But other than that, that's his shit. And I don't take pride in taking nothing from no motherfucking body else. So I don't care what none of y'all saying about that. In that trash right the fuck now. I don't steal people's shit. 46 years in, I'm 46 years old. 30 years in the game. I ain't never been known as a thief until you motherfuckers is coming with this shit now. So cut it out. Stop it. Now let's get on with the show.
Let me ask you, Debowski.
But when you take somebody's stuff without them telling you to take it, then guess what? You're a thief. Let's finish.
Took a picture with his Billboard award. He said you let him take a picture with it. He pulled it out a pillowcase with a bunch of other shit that you had in there.
I know Debowski's a lying motherfucker. I had this right here. This award is still sitting in my house to this day, and it's gonna sit here. That's one. That's the other one, and that's a picture of my brother. That's it. That's all I got as far as memorabilia. Rob gave me a watch. I recently gave that to Kerry because Kerry didn't have shit of his own brother. So I gave it to Kerry and said, man, this is from your brother. Keep it. It was a real expensive fucking watch. I gave it to Kerry. And that was it. But I ain't got no bag full of shit. I got masters in music. The masters can't fit in no fucking bag. It takes a truck to move them. And the music is on the drive. So I don't know what the fuck else Debowski's talking about. He's lying. Go ahead.
But he had a picture with it. You let him take a picture with it?
I just showed him the pictures right there.
Yeah. Because some people were saying that.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that I got those.
Buried it in his backyard.
No, they was at the warehouse when we took the fucking stuff out of there, and I said, you know, I'm gonna just keep 2 of these as a keepsake. So what, man? I didn't steal shit. I had permission to be in there. Rob was locked the fuck up. All that shit we were talking about putting it on auction sites to raise money for his defense. So
if y'all was talking about putting it on auction sites, how was it that his stuff ended up on the auction site? And the first thing you said was you ain't steal shit, but it ended up on the auction site. Then you said that you had permission to be in there. Shit, I got permission to go to Walmart. I got permission to go to Walgreens, but I can't take nothing out of there unless I pay for it, right?
the fuck is the problem? I mean, you know, nobody's saying that I stole shit but knuckleheads. Keith is the one that was in there with me. Trust me, he got a ton of shit too.
Why would you name drop and then say that he got a ton of shit too, unless you're trying to get him hemmed up? Work of an informant. This is what you call working. What he's doing is he's going on a public platform and dropping names. So now these people are going to be investigated because he's dropping names and he's saying that he was with them. That's what informants do.
So cut all that shit out about somebody stole something. We were tasked to handle certain things after he got fucked up, and that's what we're doing. It's no chance that I got his intellectual property.
Here's my question. How were y'all tasked to do shit after he got fucked up if you didn't have nothing to do with him being fucked up?
Set up a platform, and whatever I spend, I expect to get paid that back. And any fucking...
At this moment, listen to the emphasis on what he said he expect to get paid back. Listen to the emphasis. If that's your brother, if that's your boy, why do you expect to get anything paid back? I mean, like, what did you do to get paid for anything?
Something else to talk about now that they took Rob. They'll eventually, they always go after one or two of their own. Look what they did with Harvey Weinstein and Weinstein, you know, so they'll find some reason to go after somebody else it is. They have to throw in a token every now and then to make it seem balanced, you know. Let me address something that people have been asking and people have been saying. First of all, I don't have any of fucking Rob's music or his memorabilia or his any fucking wear. If I was going to put shit out there, I would put it on my platform, indiebill.com. Why the fuck would I make somebody else some money when I got a platform I can put it out there on my own? I'm not about that shit. I'm about making sure we keep the money within, not giving it to somebody else. So I don't have shit on eBay. Whoever's lying and saying that I do not. All of his music is safe, tucked away, waiting for him to say what he wants to be done with the shit. And until that happens, it's going to stay safe and tucked away. I have every unfucking released album, and all the motherfuckers are sitting there in certain places, secured and copyright. So all that shit about me putting out his music, I don't want a dime off of none of that shit. If I set up a platform and whatever I spend, I expect to get paid that back and any fucking percentage for my work, which may be 10 to 20 based on how much I put in. But other than that, that's his shit. And I don't take pride in taking nothing from no motherfucking body else. So I don't care what none of y'all saying about that. In that trash right the fuck now. I don't steal people's shit. 46 years in, I'm 46 years old. 30 years in the game. I ain't never been known as a thief until you motherfuckers is coming with this shit now. So cut it out. Stop it. Now let's get on with the show.
Let me ask you, Dabrowski took a picture with his Billboard award. He said you let him take a picture with it. He pulled it out a pillowcase with a bunch of other shit that you had in there.
I know Dabrowski's a lying motherfucker. I had this right here. This award is still sitting in my house to this day, and it's gonna sit here. That's one. That's the other one, and that's a picture of my brother. That's it. That's all I got as far as memorabilia. Rob gave me a watch. I recently gave that to Kerry because Kerry didn't have shit of his own brother. So I gave it to Kerry and said, man, this is from your brother. Keep it. It was a real expensive fucking watch. I gave it to Kerry. And that was it. But I ain't got no bag full of shit. I got masters in music. The masters can't fit in no fucking bag. It takes a truck to move them. And the music is on the drive. So I don't know what the fuck else Dabrowski's talking about. He's lying. But go ahead.
But he had a picture with it. You let him take a picture with
it? I just showed him the pictures right there.
Yeah, because some people were saying
that. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that I got those.
He buried it in his backyard.
No, they was at the warehouse when we took the fucking stuff out of there, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna just keep 2 of these as a keepsake. So what, man? I didn't steal shit. I had permission to be in there. Rob was locked the fuck up. All that shit we were talking about putting it on auction sites to raise money for his defense. So what the fuck is the problem? I mean, you know, nobody's saying that I stole shit but knuckleheads. Keith is the one that was in there with me. Trust me, he got a ton of shit too. So cut all that shit out about somebody stole something. We were tasked to handle certain things after he got fucked up, and that's what we're doing. It's no chance that I got his intellectual property and Keith got his power of attorney. You don't give everything to one person. If I get caught and I got power of attorney and intellectual property, mission fucked up. But as long as one of us are good, mission straight. Period.
Right. You know, you don't feel like you violated when you said the nigga had when you say he had a couple of sex tapes or sex videos. He's like, yeah, you know, he fucking, you know, he fucking. So you ain't feel violated seeing this nigga fucking?
What'd you say?
I said you didn't feel like you was violating his privacy watching him fucking them sex videos?
Nigga, he had a sex tape on fucking for sale on the internet. How the fuck am I violating it with people watching them pissing on bitches and shit? Come on now. Whatever the fuck happened with that shit.
That shit ain't public.
Yes, they took that shit out. I was selling them shit in Jewtown around here. Come on, man. Cut this shit out. It's like Rob goes on tour every day and put his ass and his dick and everything in front of people, in front of millions of people. And me saying that's a problem? He in videos talking about fucking and second and fucking 5 or 6 bitches, and me saying that is a problem? Come on, now let's be real with this shit. Don't just make it a problem because I said it.
Can you say
he said it too? Shit.
Can you say who you saw him fucking?
No, I didn't see him. What you mean? I saw the tapes with names and XXX on the motherfuckers. I didn't see no motherfucker. I don't sit there and watch this nigga fucking nobody. No, I watch porn, but not him.
That's what I thought. That's what it seemed like, brother.
Come on, man. That's what it is. That's your creepy ass disposition.
And that's the reason why they was hammering Rob, because Don went on and said that Rob had sex tapes everywhere. Now y'all get it. Now y'all get it. I just proved my point. I don't got to keep going. Other than that, I'm up out of here. Thank y'all for joining me. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
boy never let me in. Sick with the medicine. On the block distributing right with the medicine. Haters don't like me. Heard they wanna fight me. Teflon at your chest, I bet you can't fight these. Mad cause I'm getting dope. Pillsbury ill flow. Niggas love to move snow. You sick of me, don't care though. Yes, I'm a savage. Out for the cabbage. Catch the boy armed up, full metal alchemist. Yes, I'm ill. And yeah, I'm so real. Coward ass niggas coming home without an appeal. Damn, how this getting done. Tell me what's the outcome. Anybody wanna see me? Tell them where the fuck I'm from. Patrol homes, red rum. Yeah, we get the job done. Out trying to stack chips. Make these haters so sick. If they sick of that, then they really gonna be sick of this. Santa Claus Viper. Haters, Merry Christmas.
Swimming in you. Hey, little mama. Said I wanna take a dip in your pool. Just go for a little dive, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.